tries on the night. Meanwhile, there were 3 games that took place in the United Rugby Championship. Cardiff beats the Stormers by 22 points to 16. Connaught won 26-5 at Edinburgh, and Glasgow Warriors managed to edge out Ulster 26 points to 22 in Belfast. We're moving on to Rugby League news now. And there were 2 games that took place in the Super League on Friday night. So Wakefield Trinity romped to a 58-10 win against the Catalan Dragons. Meanwhile, in the crunch tie at the Brick Community Stadium, Wigan Warriors managed to win by 24 points to 4 against Leeds Rhinos. So Wigan leading by 16 points to 0 at the break. A late consolation try for Leeds from winger Maker Sivo, but a comprehensive victory for Wigan on home soil. That means that St Helens are now 2 points clear at the top of the Super League standings, with Leeds Rhinos in 2nd spot. That's all for now. We'll have more later. These are your latest sports news headlines. I'm Alex Jack. We'll start with the football headlines on this Saturday morning, and then look back at Friday night's clash in the Premier League as Aston Villa secured a 4-2 victory against Liverpool at Villa Park. Ollie Watkins scored 2 goals and set up another as the Villains swept aside Liverpool to secure Champions League football for next season. Well, it was Morgan Rogers who gave Villa the lead in the 42nd minute, a crucial goal just before the break to give the Villains a 1-0 lead at half-time. It was Liverpool who responded thanks to a first goal from Virgil van Dijk in the 52nd minute. Ollie Watkins' brace soon followed, John McGinn scoring in the 89th minute before Virgil van Dijk scored in the 92nd, only a consolation goal for the Reds. Well, that leaves Villa secure in 4th place in the Premier League standings. Liverpool looks set to finish in 5th spot. Well, it's FA Cup action today as Chelsea take on Manchester City at 3 o'clock at Wembley Stadium. But arguably the biggest drama will be happening before then in the Scottish Premiership. Hearts have a chance to win the title north of the border. They take on Celtic at Parkhead. All the games kicking off at 12:30. It's Celtic v Hearts, Falkirk host Rangers, and Hibernian take on Motherwell. Moving on to rugby union news now. Northampton Saints humiliated Bristol Bears at Franklin's Gardens, winning by 94 points to 33. Saints led by 61 points to 14 at half-time and ended up scoring 14 tries in that clash in the East Midlands. Saints winger George Hendy, the top scorer with 4 tries on the night. Meanwhile, there were 3 games that took place in the United Rugby Championship. Cardiff beats the Stormers by 22 points to 16. Connaught won 26-5 at Edinburgh, and Glasgow Warriors managed to edge out Ulster 26 points to 22 in Belfast. We're moving on to Rugby League news now. And there were 2 games that took place in the Super League on Friday night. So Wakefield Trinity romped to a 58-10 win against the Catalan Dragons. Meanwhile, in the crunch tie at the Brick Community Stadium, Wigan Warriors managed to win by 24 points to 4 against Leeds Rhinos. So Wigan leading by 16 points to 0 at the break. A late consolation try for Leeds from winger Maker Sivo. But a comprehensive victory for Wigan on home soil. That means that St in 2nd spot. That's all for now. We'll have more later. These are your latest sports news headlines. I'm Alex Jack. We'll start with the football headlines on this Saturday morning, and then look back at Friday night's clash in the Premier League as Aston Villa secured a 4-2 victory against Liverpool at Villa Park. Ollie Watkins scored 2 goals and set up another as the Villains swept aside Liverpool to secure Champions League football for next season. Well, it was Morgan Rogers who gave Villa the lead in the 42nd minute, a crucial goal just before the break to give the Villains a 1-0 lead at half-time. It was Liverpool, who responded thanks to a first goal from Virgil van Dijk in the 52nd minute. Ollie Watkins' brace soon followed, John McGinn scoring in the 89th minute before Virgil van Dijk scored in the 92nd, only a consolation goal for the Reds. Well, that leaves Villa secure in 4th place in the Premier League standings. Liverpool look set to finish in 5th spot. Well, it's FA Cup action today as Chelsea take on Manchester City at 3 o'clock at Wembley Stadium. But arguably the biggest drama will be happening before then in the Scottish Premiership. Hearts have a chance to win the title north of the border. They take on Celtic at Parkhead. All the games kicking off at 12:30. It's Celtic v Hearts. Falkirk host Rangers and Hibernian take on Motherwell. Moving on to rugby union news now. Northampton Saints humiliated Bristol Bears at Franklin's Gardens, winning by 94 points to 33. Saints led by 61 points to 14 at half-time and ended up scoring 14 tries in that clash in the East Midlands. Saints winger George Hendy, the top scorer with 4 tries on the night. Meanwhile, there were 3 games that took place in the United Rugby Championship. Cardiff beats the Stormers by 22 points to 16. Connaught won 26-5 at Edinburgh, and Glasgow Warriors managed to edge out Ulster 26 points to 22 in Belfast. We're moving on to Rugby League news now. And there were 2 games that took place in the Super League on Friday night. So Wakefield Trinity romped to a 58-10 win against the Catalan Dragons. Meanwhile, in the crunch tie at the Brick Community Stadium, Wigan Warriors managed to win by 24 points to 4 against Leeds Rhinos. So Wigan leading by 16 points to 0 at the break. A late consolation try for Leeds from winger Maker Sivo, but a comprehensive victory for Wigan on home soil. That means that St Helens are now 2 points clear at the top of the Super League standings, with Leeds Rhinos in 2nd spot. That's all for now. We'll have more later. These are your latest sports news headlines. I'm Alex Jack. We'll start with the football headlines on this Saturday morning and then look back at Friday night's clash in the Premier League as Aston Villa secured a 4-2 victory against Liverpool at Villa Park. Ollie Watkins scored 2 goals and set up another as the Villains swept aside Liverpool to secure Champions League football for next season. Well, it was Morgan Rogers who gave Villa the lead in the 42nd minute, a crucial goal just before the break to give the Villains a 1-0 lead at half-time. It was Liverpool who responded thanks to a first goal from Virgil van Dijk in the 52nd minute. Ollie Watkins' brace soon followed, John McGinn scoring in the 89th minute before Virgil van Dijk scored in the 92nd, only a consolation goal for the Reds. Well, that leaves Villa secure in 4th place in the Premier League standings. Liverpool look set to finish in 5th spot. Well, it's FA Cup action today as Chelsea take on Manchester City at 3 o'clock at Wembley Stadium. But arguably the biggest drama will be happening before then in the Scottish Premiership. Hearts have a chance to win the title north of the border. They take on Celtic at Parkhead. All the games kicking off at 12:30. It's Celtic v Hearts. Falkirk host Rangers and Hibernian take on Motherwell. Moving on to rugby union news now. Northampton Saints humiliated Bristol Bears at Franklin's Gardens, winning by 94 points to 33. Saints led by 61 points to 14 at half-time and ended up scoring 14 tries in that clash in the East Midlands. Saints winger George Hendy, the top scorer with 4 tries on the night. Meanwhile, there were 3 games that took place in the United Rugby Championship. Cardiff beats the Stormers by 22 points to 16. Connaught won 26-5 at Edinburgh, and Glasgow Warriors managed to edge out Ulster 26 points to 22 in Belfast. Moving on to rugby league news now, and there were two games that took place in the Super League on Friday night. So Wakefield Trinity romped to a 58-10 win against the Catalan Dragons. Meanwhile, in the crunch tie at the Brick Community Stadium, Wigan Warriors managed to win by 24 points to 4 against Leeds Rhinos. So Wigan leading by 16 points to 0 at the break. A late consolation try for Leeds from winger Maker Sivo, but a comprehensive victory for Wigan on home soil. That means that St Helens are now 2 points clear at the top of the Super League standings, with Leeds Rhinos in second spot. That's all for now. We'll have more later. These are your latest sports news headlines. I'm Alex Jack. We'll start with the football headlines on this Saturday morning, and a look back at Friday night's clash in the Premier League as Aston Villa secured a 4-2 victory against Liverpool at Villa Park. Ollie Watkins scored 2 goals and set up another as the Villains swept aside Liverpool to secure Champions League football for next season. Well, it was Morgan Rogers who gave Villa the lead in the 42nd minute, a crucial goal just before the break to give the Villains a 1-0 lead at half-time. It was Liverpool who responded thanks to a first goal from Virgil van Dijk in the 52nd minute. Ollie Watkins' brace soon followed, John McGinn scoring in the 89th minute before Virgil van Dijk scored in the 92nd, only a consolation goal for the Reds. Well, that leaves Villa secure in fourth place in the Premier League standings. Liverpool looks set to finish in fifth spot. Well, it's FA Cup action today as Chelsea take on Manchester City at 3 o'clock at Wembley Stadium. But arguably the biggest drama will be happening before then in the Scottish Premiership. Hearts have a chance to win the title north of the border. They take on Celtic at Parkhead. All the games kicking off at 12:30. It's Celtic v Hearts, Falkirk host Rangers, and Hibernian take on Motherwell. Moving on to rugby union news now. Northampton Saints humiliated Bristol Bears at Franklin's Gardens, winning by 94 points to 33. Saints led by 61 points to 14 at half-time and ended up scoring 14 tries in that clash in the East Midlands. Saints winger George Hendy, the top scorer, with 4 tries on the night. Meanwhile, there were 3 games that took place in the United Rugby Championship. Cardiff beats the Stormers by 22 points to 16. Connaught won 26-5 at Edinburgh, and Glasgow Warriors managed to edge out Ulster 26 points to 22 in Belfast. We're moving on to rugby league news now, and there were 2 games that took place in the Super League on Friday night. So Wakefield Trinity romped to a 58-10 win against the Catalan Dragons. Meanwhile, in the crunch tie at the Brick Community Stadium, Wigan Warriors managed to win by 24 points to 4 against Leeds Rhinos. So Wigan leading by 16 points to 0 at the break. A late consolation try for Leeds from winger Maker Sivo, but a comprehensive victory for Wigan on home soil. That means that St Helens are now 2 points clear at the top of the Super League standings, with Leeds Rhinos in second spot. That's all for now. We'll have more later. These are your latest sports news headlines. I'm Alex Jack. We'll start with the football headlines on this Saturday morning, and a look back at Friday night's clash in the Premier League as Aston Villa secured a 4-2 victory against Liverpool at Villa Park. Ollie Watkins scored 2 goals and set up another as the Villains swept aside Liverpool to secure Champions League football for next season. Well, it was Morgan Rogers who gave Villa the lead in the 42nd minute, a crucial goal just before the break to give the Villains a 1-0 lead at half-time. It was Liverpool who responded thanks to a first goal from Virgil van Dijk in the 52nd minute. Ollie Watkins' brace soon followed, John McGinn scoring in the 89th minute before Virgil van Dijk scored in the 92nd, only a consolation goal for the Reds. Well, that leaves Villa secure in fourth place in the Premier League standings. Liverpool look set to finish in 5th spot. Well, it's FA Cup action today as Chelsea take on Manchester City at 3 o'clock at Wembley Stadium. But arguably the biggest drama will be happening before then in the Scottish Premiership. Hearts have a chance to win the title north of the border. They take on Celtic at Parkhead. All the games kicking off at 12:30. It's Celtic v Hearts, Falkirk host Rangers, and Hibernian take on Motherwell. Moving on to rugby union news now. Northampton Saints humiliated Bristol Bears at Franklin's Gardens, winning by 94 points to 33. Saints led by 61 points to 14 at half-time and ended up scoring 14 tries in that clash in the East Midlands. Saints winger George Hendy, the top scorer with 4 tries on the night. Meanwhile, there were 3 games that took place in the United Rugby Championship. Cardiff beats the Stormers by 22 points to 16. Connaught won 26-5 at Edinburgh, and Glasgow Warriors managed to edge out Ulster 26 points to 22 in Belfast. Moving on to rugby league news now. And there were 2 games that took place in the Super League on Friday night. So Wakefield Trinity romped to a 58-10 win against the Catalan Dragons. Meanwhile, in the crunch tie at the Brick Community Stadium, Wigan Warriors managed to win by 24 points to 4 against Leeds Rhinos. So Wigan leading by 16 points to 0 at the break. A late consolation try for Leeds from winger Maker Sivo, but a comprehensive victory for Wigan on home soil. That means that St Helens are now 2 points clear at the top of the Super League standings, with Leeds Rhinos in 2nd spot. That's all for now. We'll have more later. These are your latest sports news headlines. I'm Alex Jack. We start with the football headlines on this Saturday morning, and then look back at Friday night's clash in the Premier League as Aston Villa secured a 4-2 victory against Liverpool at Villa Park. Ollie Watkins scored 2 goals and set up another as the Villains swept aside Liverpool to secure Champions League football for next season. Well, it was Morgan Rogers who gave Villa the lead in the 42nd minute, a crucial goal just before the break to give the Villains a 1-0 lead at half-time. It was Liverpool who responded thanks to a first goal from Virgil van Dijk in the 52nd minute. Ollie Watkins' brace soon followed, John McGinn scoring in the 89th minute before Virgil van Dijk scored in the 92nd, only a consolation goal for the Reds. Well, that leaves Villa secure in 4th place in the Premier League standings. Liverpool look set to finish in 5th spot. Well, it's FA Cup action today as Chelsea take on Manchester City at 3 o'clock at Wembley Stadium. But arguably the biggest drama will be happening before then in the Scottish Premiership. Hearts have a chance to win the title north of the border. They take on Celtic at Parkhead. All the games kicking off at 12:30. It's Celtic v Hearts, Falkirk host Rangers, and Hibernian take on Motherwell. Moving on to rugby union news now. Northampton Saints humiliated Bristol Bears at Franklin's Gardens, winning by 94 points to 33. Saints led by 61 points to 14 at half-time and ended up scoring 14 tries in that clash in the East Midlands. Saints winger George Hendy, the top scorer with 4 tries on the night. Meanwhile, there were 3 games that took place in the United Rugby Championship. Cardiff beats the Stormers by 22 points to 16. Connaught won 26-5 at Edinburgh, and Glasgow Warriors managed to edge out Ulster 26 points to 22 in Belfast. Moving on to rugby league news now. And there were 2 games that took place in the Super League on Friday night. So Wakefield Trinity romped to a 58-10 win against the Catalan Dragons. Meanwhile, in the crunch tie at the Brick Community Stadium, Wigan Warriors managed to win by 24 points to 4 against Leeds Rhinos. So Wigan leading by 16 points to nil at the break. A late consolation try for Leeds from winger Maker Sivo, but a comprehensive victory for Wigan on home soil. That means that St Helens are now 2 points clear at the top of the Super League standings, with Leeds Rhinos in second spot. That's all for now. We'll have more later. These are your latest sports news headlines. I'm Alex Jack. We'll start with the football headlines on this Saturday morning, and then look back at Friday night's clash in the Premier League as Aston Villa secured a 4-2 victory against Liverpool at Villa Park. Ollie Watkins scored 2 goals and set up another as the Villains swept aside Liverpool to secure Champions League football for next season. Well, it was Morgan Rogers who gave Villa the lead in the 42nd minute, a crucial goal just before the break to give the Villains a 1-0 lead at half-time. It was Liverpool who responded thanks to a first goal from Virgil van Dijk in the 52nd minute. Ollie Watkins' brace soon followed, John McGinn scoring in the 89th minute before Virgil van Dijk scored in the 92nd, only a consolation goal for the Reds. Well, that leaves Villa secure in fourth place in the Premier League standings. Liverpool look set to finish in fifth spot. Well, it's FA Cup action today as Chelsea take on Manchester City at 3 o'clock at Wembley Stadium. But arguably the biggest drama will be happening before then in the Scottish Premiership. Hearts have a chance to win the title north of the border. They take on Celtic at Parkhead. All the games kicking off at 12:30. It's Celtic v Hearts, Falkirk host Rangers, and Hibernian take on Motherwell. Moving on to rugby union news now. Northampton Saints humiliated Bristol Bears at Franklin's Gardens, winning by 94 points to 33. Saints led by 61 points to 14 at half-time and ended up scoring 14 tries in that clash in the East Midlands. Saints winger George Hendy, the top scorer with 4 tries on the night. Meanwhile, there were 3 games that took place in the United Rugby Championship. Cardiff beats the Stormers by 22 points to 16. Connaught won 26-5 at Edinburgh, and Glasgow Warriors managed to edge out Ulster 26 points to 22 in Belfast. We're moving on to rugby league news now. And there were 2 games that took place in the Super League on Friday night. So Wakefield Trinity romped to a 58-10 win against the Catalan Dragons. Meanwhile, in the crunch tie at the Brick Community Stadium, Wigan Warriors managed to win by 24 points to 4 against Leeds Rhinos. So Wigan leading by 16 points to nil at the break. A late consolation try for Leeds from winger Maker Sivo. But a comprehensive victory for Wigan on home soil. That means that St Helens are now 2 points clear at the top of the Super League standings, with Leeds Rhinos in second spot. That's all for now. We'll have more later. These are your latest sports news headlines. I'm Alex Jack. We'll start with the football headlines on this Saturday morning, and then look back at Friday night's clash in the Premier League as Aston Villa secured a 4-2 victory against Liverpool at Villa Park. Ollie Watkins scored 2 goals and set up another as the Villains swept aside Liverpool to secure Champions League football for next season. Well, it was Morgan Rogers who gave Villa the lead in the 42nd minute, a crucial goal just before the break to give the Villains a 1-0 lead at half-time. It was Liverpool who responded thanks to a first goal from Virgil van Dijk in the 52nd minute. Ollie Watkins' brace soon followed, John McGinn scoring in the 89th minute before Virgil van Dijk scored in the 92nd, only a consolation goal for the Reds. Well, that leaves Villa secure in fourth place in the Premier League standings. Liverpool look set to finish in fifth spot. Well, it's FA Cup action today as Chelsea take on Manchester City at 3 o'clock at Wembley Stadium. But arguably the biggest drama will be happening before then in the Scottish Premiership. Hearts have a chance to win the title north of the border. They take on Celtic at Parkhead. All the games kicking off at 12:30. It's Celtic v Hearts, Falkirk host Rangers, and Birmingham take on Motherwell. Moving on to rugby union news now. Northampton Saints humiliated Bristol Bears at Franklin's Gardens, winning by 94 points to 33. Saints led by 61 points to 14 at half-time and ended up scoring 14 tries in that clash in the East Midlands. Saints winger George Hendy, the top scorer, with 4 tries on the night. Meanwhile, there were 3 games that took place in the United Rugby Championship. Cardiff beats the Stormers by 22 points to 16. Connaught won 26-5 at Edinburgh, and Glasgow Warriors managed to edge out Ulster 26 points to 22 in Belfast. We're moving on to rugby league news now. And there were 2 games that took place in the Super League on Friday night. So Wakefield Trinity romped to a 58-10 win against the Catalan Dragons. Meanwhile, in the crunch tie at the Brick Community Stadium, Wigan Warriors managed to win by 24 points to 4 against Leeds Rhinos. So Wigan leading by 16 points to 0 at the break. A late consolation try for Leeds from winger Maker Sivo, but a comprehensive victory for Wigan on home soil. That means that St Helens are now 2 points clear at the top of the Super League standings, with Leeds Rhinos in second spot. That's all for now. We'll have more later. These are your latest sports news headlines. I'm Alex Jack. We'll start with the football headlines on this Saturday morning, and then look back at Friday night's clash in the Premier League as Aston Villa secured a 4-2 victory against Liverpool at Villa Park. Ollie Watkins scored 2 goals and set up another as the Villains swept aside Liverpool to secure Champions League football for next season. Well, it was Morgan Rogers who gave Villa the lead in the 42nd minute, a crucial goal just before the break to give the Villains a 1-0 lead at half-time. It was Liverpool who responded thanks to a first goal from Virgil van Dijk in the 52nd minute. Ollie Watkins' brace soon followed, John McGinn scoring in the 89th minute before Virgil van Dijk scored in the 92nd, only a consolation goal for the Reds.
To get into the top 6 following their promotion, beaten 3-0 by Hearts most recently. 4 changes from that side. Lewis Nielsen, Henry Cartwright, Ethan Ross and Ben Parkinson start this afternoon. Cole Donaldson, Dylan Tate, Connor Allen and Kyrell Wilson are the 4 to make way. The split has killed Rangers title Well, a warm welcome along to our coverage of the action taking place at Falkirk Stadium. There is the small matter. This is the one Scottish Premiership game that has very little riding on it. It's 6 against 3rd and nothing will change at the end of this contest. Meanwhile, Celtic play Hearts for the title. Hibs and Motherwell do battle for European places to get 4th spot in that game. But it's 6 against 3rd, and as I say, nothing will change. Rangers have been pretty poor since the split. They were a point behind the Hearts going into the split, and they've lost all 4 games. They're now 11 points behind the leaders, 10 behind Celtic. The match has just got underway. We'll keep you up to speed with scores elsewhere too. But Falkirk impressed back on the return to the Championship. Rangers, big disappointment.
Yeah, I think they're both looking on for next season now. Of course, Rangers have got the European spots, so they'll be looking to see what they can kind of change for next season. Maybe some tactical changes come from the managers as well, try out different systems and get ready for the new season.
The last match these two played was a 9-goal thriller, 6-3 to Rangers. There had been 2 draws between these two sides prior to that, so what we get this afternoon is open to question. Falkirk have got a bit of defending to do. Chimiti chases a rather overhit ball through, but he's not going to just allow Falkirk to have easy possession. They do now. Henderson across the heart. Rangers changed their formation from the defeat to Hibs. It didn't ruin their chances. Hibs, it's probably the Motherwell game, wasn't it? Lost to Celtic and Hearts. Since then, maybe the confidence was knocked straight away by that Motherwell defeat. But of course, they've not recovered. And, well, they've changed their formation. Only 2 changes of personnel. Gassama and Suter coming in. Ball into the box. Opportunity for Rangers. And it's stabbed across the keeper into the back of the net. Very nonchalant finish. Rangers have taken the lead. It was almost as if it wasn't even trying. Just a little toe poke. The angle was terrible. But I don't want to blame the keeper, but I might.
Yeah, well, it's Chimiti just round the back of a few of the Falkirk defenders there. Nobody picked him up and he just toe poked it straight past Hogarth into the back of the net. And really it came out of nothing, just a ball down the left hand side. He made the run round and no defenders tracking him.
Tight angle, but maybe the toe poke, the nonchalant play just didn't allow Hogarth to get set. It's inside the far post, it's been given. So Rangers have struck inside 2 minutes to lead. And, well, Falkirk, not exactly ideal defending. That was really the first attack that Rangers had. And we might yet get a 9-goal thriller. Yeah,
indeed. Really, like I said, it's just the ball down the left-hand side. Chimiti made the run and toe poked it into the back of the net. We weren't expecting the ball to be played in there. There was plenty of players towards the far post, but Chimiti just making that run and Falkirk just not defending well.
Mikey Moore, I think, gets the assist. First attack for Rangers. And it's led to a goal. Falkirk might now be a bit more proactive after that slow start. They had all the possession, but of course have conceded. 3 minutes is ticking over, so it's not deep in the game. Plenty of time to recover, but obviously not an ideal start. It's still 0-0 in the other games, which have things riding on them. Celtic Hearts, of course, going for the title. A point is good enough for Hearts, if you didn't know. Their first title since 1960. Potentially, as Falkirk are on the attack down the right-hand side. Opportunity to try and get the ball in. Miller gets to the byline. He's closed down well. Tackle comes in. The ball actually hits the corner flag, stays in play. But Miller plays it off the legs of Moore. Gets a throw-in right on the corner flag. And Falkirk still on the attack, as it's thrown into the box. Parkinson trying to hold it up. The layoff isn't good, but it is kept in by Falkirk near the corner flag under a little bit of pressure. Everybody barring Chimiti behind the ball. High hanging cross comes in, punched away by Butland. He didn't get much on it, but he got it away from the danger area. And it's picked up by Gassama, who's charging downfield, and he's gone past his first man. He's still going. Has he got anybody up in support? He takes a look, has to take a touch, wait for the arrivals. Diamandi, Mikey Moore, left of the D, left-footed shot! Oh, and it's just wide of the post. I don't think Hogarth got a touch. He did. It's a save, given as a corner. Not a bad strike at all from Mikey Moore. And corner kick, Rangers looking dangerous every time they come forward.
Yeah, indeed. Down the right-hand side this time with Gassama. Lovely pace from him. Hart just managing to keep up with him, though. Had to cut it back inside. And Mikey Moore with the shot yet again. Not much curl on the ball. And in the end, it's a good save by Hogarth.
A decent strike. Outside the box, though, you wouldn't necessarily expect those to find the back of the net. Not in a rush to take the corner range. I imagine they're feeling a little bit deflated, as it's eventually swung in to the far post, headed away by Nielsen to the edge of the box. Diamandi tries to keep it alive, not particularly well. Ball is eventually worked out to the left-hand side. Fernandez, I think it is, who's going to cross into the middle. It's poor, doesn't beat the man closest to him, the defensive man, as Miller wins a free kick, bringing it away for Falkirk. He's brought down by Diamandi. Free kick just inside the Falkirk half, which is floated from right to left, and Ross has come very deep to pick it up. Hart went on the overlap, but the pass is back inside. Cartwright, and that's a loose pass. And I think Nielsen thought it took a deflection off a Rangers player. He was rather nonchalant getting across there. He picked up the ball for a throw-in, but it's a Rangers throw. Halfway inside the Falkirk half. 6 minutes ticking over at the Falkirk Stadium. Already a goal, of course. Chimiti with that strike, and there's another shooting opportunity for Rangers. Chimiti tried a little pass. Volley comes in from Rangers. Oh, it's in the top corner. What a strike that was. Hogarth might not have been expecting that either. Rangers are finishing in style. 2 goals inside, well, just going into the 7th minute now. And what a finish that was.
Yeah, Chimiti again, what a strike from distance that was. Just chested it down. It wasn't dealt with by Falkirk. They've not done the best of passes. They've not done the best of defensive work either. And Chimiti just on the edge of the box, chests it down. First time volleys it straight over the goalkeeper Hogarth and into the top corner it went. He was outstretched but couldn't get anything on the ball this time.
Yeah, it's a volley, but a bouncing volley. It wasn't quite on the full, but he's picked out the top corner. Hogarth nowhere near it. He did actually try a 1-2 prior to that, but the ball came back to him. Butland has it. Oh, and there's a mistake from Butland. It's 2-1. Butland received the back pass, but he miscontrolled it. It's rolled off his boot inside the far post. Falkirk have got a goal. I was joking about 9-goal thriller, but we've had 3 in 7 minutes. And that's a horrendous mistake from Butland. Falkirk have got a lifeline. Yeah,
I'm not sure what Butland was doing there. I think he was more focused about where to pass it to than where the ball was going, because it went right past his foot and into the bottom corner from a loose pass back. It's not the best from Rangers at all. They complained about something maybe within the build-up there. Not sure what they're complaining to the referee about. But the referee is just taking their time here before they take the kick-off. Will Rangers, but Butland more focused on where he was going to pass the ball than where the ball was going to go.
Yeah, it's easy to suggest it wasn't a great pass back, but having said that, he's a footballer. He should be able to control the football. It's going to go down as a Butland own goal. The back pass might not have been on target, and he did get a touch, Butland. That was the last, and Falkirk have scored without actually touching the ball in the build-up. As it's game on at Falkirk Stadium. Falkirk 1, Rangers 2. A nice, nonchalant, cool finish to give Rangers the advantage. Chimiti pinged one into the top corner to make it 2-0, but a horrendous mistake from Butland has allowed Falkirk to get on the score sheet. 1-2 into the 9th minute now. There's barely a minute between the second and third goals. There's only 4 between the first and second. I mean, 3 goals in 7 minutes is a pretty good start to the contest, as Falkirk are arguably dominating possession. Have you noticed anything about Rangers? I mean, I know they've scored 2 goals, so I'm not saying they've downed tools, but are they fully at it?
No, probably not. The goals really came from nothing, really. Ball onto the left-hand side for Mikey Moore. Chimiti just made the run. It's poor defending by Falkirk, you can say, but they're not really putting the pressure on Falkirk. They're letting them pass it around and do what they want with it, maintain possession, and Rangers are just happy to kind of sit back, and then when they get a loose ball or loose pass, then they just pick it up like that. And, goal worked out for Chimiti. It was headed away, and he just took it the chance.
Yeah, looking at the early possession stats, it's 76% for Falkirk. It's amazing that Rangers have scored 2 goals with 24%, but they have had 3 shots, obviously 2 on target. They're the goals as Mikey Moore breaks down the left-hand side. Falkirk haven't had a shot yet. They've had lots of the ball, but most of it has been in their own half, but they haven't had a shot, and yet they've scored. As Rangers have a little bit of possession. I wonder if Fernandez is going to worry about back pass to Butland. He does play it back to his keeper. Controls this time. Suter very deep. Another back pass. They haven't learned their mistakes. Why am I laughing, Joe? I don't know. But Rangers under a little bit of pressure. Suter hits it long. Chimiti's turned his man. It's Gassama actually nicely rolled his player. Now he's driving into the box. Can he pick out a teammate? Edge of the D. Shot comes in. Might have taken a deflection as Henderson heads clear. Helped out by Ross. Very deep at the moment. And Falkirk knocking it around. Now nice and comfortable. I suppose one player has already shone, not just Chimiti, because he scored 2 goals. Gassama back into the side today, and wants to make an impression at least.
Yeah, it does indeed. Turned his man really nicely there as well on this right hand side, and yet again with his pace just set off going down the line, pulled it back across.
Chance for Rangers after a giveaway from Cartwright. Chimiti go for the hat-trick, low shot, hit hard, but straight down the middle of the goal, and it's a comfortable save for Hogarth in the end. And that was a little bit lax. Cartwright gave the ball away and was having an argument with Parkinson, as opposed to trying to put Chimiti under pressure. Got a shot off, hit the target, but that one's saved as Ross has it inside Rangers territory now. Still no goals in the other games. That is, of course, Celtic Hearts and Hibernian Motherwell. 3 at Falkirk Stadium, as Fernandez stops the ball getting into the box for Miller, the target, at the expense of a throw-in to Falkirk within the breadth of the 18-yard box, but they've taken it short. Haven't got much room to work with. Broggio keeps it alive, but then dinks it into the box, hoping that there was a runner. I say hoping because there wasn't, and Rangers have a goal kick as 12 minutes ticks over at Falkirk Stadium. Under no real rush to play the ball is Giga. I don't think Rangers necessarily will be worried about conceding a goal, because of course they're going to finish third one way or another. Might want to give the travelling support something to cheer about, but they need to get on the ball. I'm really finding it surprising there's no pressure on Falkirk possession. No,
there's not indeed. The only time that they've really had any possession of the ball is when they've got down the right hand side with Gassama.
Cross comes in from the Falkirk right. It's Giga who heads away. Fernandez, rather, who was backpedaling. Didn't really control the header, but he got it up and over anybody in the box. But it's a corner kick to Falkirk. Falkirk 1, Rangers 2. Into the 13th minute. Nearly completed, actually. Looks like Ross is coming across to take the left wing corner for the Bairns. Plenty in the box, of course. The Rangers defenders are actually on the edge of the 6-yard box, really. Butland's got all sorts of space. They take the corner short. The return pass from Cartwright isn't good, but Ross now under a little bit of pressure. Still Miller, one-on-one with Mikey Moore. Tries to go round him to the byline, cross, blocked behind, and it will be another corner to Falkirk. Into the 14th minute. Falkirk 1, Rangers 2. Rangers scoring all 3 goals. Chimiti with a brace before Butland miscontrolled the back pass. It was a little bit Enkelman-esque, if you remember that throw-in. Touch towards the ball, but took his eye off the ball. More of a touch, actually, from Butland. They've taken the corner short again, have Falkirk. Miller into the box, looking for the run of Spencer. He has to turn back because he didn't have the space. Asgard's dispossessed him, tries to set Moore away, but Cartwright across to win possession back for Falkirk. And they have the ball just inside their own half. 2 corners, and neither were thrown into the middle, as they are bringing it forward now. But that's a very ambitious pass from Nielsen. It is kept in, though, right in the quadrant. Looked as though he'd overhit it. Rangers have actually regrouped, got bodies back behind the ball. Cross still comes in, it's over everybody. Giga took a touch. Cleverly let the ball roll, actually. He knew all the Falkirk players were inside him, so just took a touch away to the left edge, the right edge of the area's Rangers defender. They've moved it swiftly forward. Moore feeding it out to the left-hand side. Chimiti tackled, though, this time by Nielsen. And Falkirk have it back, continuing to dominate possession. A little bit surprised they haven't thrown a corner straight into the middle.
Yeah, they just went for these short corners, and a few of the passes went astray for them, and Rangers were happy just to defend them down by the corner flag and make sure that the ball never got really inside of the box. They had that touch with Spencer just inside, but then he was quickly just dispossessed by Rangers, and they've not had much possession of the ball, like you said, but when they have been on the ball and attacking, they are looking pretty dangerous.
Yeah, they're attacking with purpose. They're not having possession like Falkirk. Falkirk are obviously knocking it around and progressing from time to time. Rangers just get it forward fairly quickly. I don't mean long balls. Somebody's often been in space. But Falkirk have the possession inside their own half. This time they go back to Hogarth. No pressure on him. He floats it out to Ross on the left-hand side. Good control. Gassama closes him down, but into the Rangers' half. Feeds it into Cartwright. Looking for the width. Comes on the right-hand side from Yates. Back in field, drill ball from left to right, and it's a good pass onto the chest of Hart. Controls, crosses to the far post. Oh, and there's a missed chance header. Parkinson might have been able to reach that. It's defended away, back from the far post through the 6-yard box by Rangers, out for a throw-in on the corner flag on the Falkirk left. Looked to be a decent chance for, I think it was Parkinson.
Yeah, lovely ball in by Hart as well. Had plenty of time to drill that ball inside the box, and so he does so. And Parkinson's arriving there just a little bit too late. There were plenty of Falkirk players at the back stick, but they couldn't get there. Rangers defended it quite well and managed to get it cleared out for another throw-in for Falkirk.
Yeah, you wouldn't anticipate Rangers third in the table given the opening 16 and a half minutes. You might do, of course, looking at the scoreboard. Falkirk 1, Rangers 2. But Rangers lost 4 on the bounce coming into this match. Got the perfect start. But maybe that own goal was miscontrol at the back. Chimiti's no support, but he's got 2 to beat into the area. It's good defending in the end with Henderson coming across. There was a miscontrol from Nielsen, but Henderson mopping up has actually tackled it into Chimiti, and the ball ricochets harmlessly to Hogarth. Obviously he's on ahead as it's played down the right hand side by Falkirk. Fernandez wants the throw in, but the linesman says it's come off him last, and it will be Falkirk still on the attack. And Rangers have got all barring Chimiti behind the ball as it's another switch of play. That's a bit awkward though. Bounces high off the artificial surface, bounces over Ross, and Rangers have possession. They haven't had much of it so far. Barron back into his own box, finds Suter. Cross to Butland, it will be closed down. Clears left-footed, downfield, it's over Chimiti's head, and it's 1 against 4 there. I don't know, it's certainly, for me at least anyway, it has a very end-of-season feel about Rangers.
Yeah, indeed. I think they're just a bit more relaxed now. They're not really running after the ball. They're not chasing it down. They're just trying to launch balls long onto Chimiti and hope that he can maybe chest it down and do something with it. He had a good chance there yet again to try and get his hat-trick, but wanted to take it on the right foot instead of the left, and it was defended well by Henderson.
Still no goals in the other games. So as things stand, it's Hearts ending the Glasgow monopoly of the title, but we're only into the 19th minute there or thereabouts. Falkirk, of course, trying to inflict a 5th successive defeat on Rangers. 1-2 down at the moment, but having most of the play. Not much of it, in fairness to Rangers, has been in the box, or even in the final third, really, but it's a dominance you wouldn't necessarily expect on the possession front, albeit on home territory. Good switch of play from Cartwright, finding Miller, who's got support from Yates coming up, cross in towards the 6-yard box. There was 2 free far post, but Suter heads away, and now Rangers try and clear. Diamande has rolled it past Cartwright. He's then tugged back. Free kick to Rangers halfway inside their own half, and a yellow card.
Yeah,
first yellow card of the game, of course.
Yeah, indeed. Rangers there trying to get the quick counter-attack, and the player just dragged back, and the referee feels that that was a yellow card for the Falkirk man. And it's a bit of a silly challenge, really, to try and make. Rangers were just trying to get it long, but weren't really going to do anything with it because Falkirk had plenty of players in front of the ball.
Ball down the left. Oh, slight miscontrol from Chimiti. And it's taken from him by Nielsen. Has to go back to Hogarth. Again, it's only Chimiti really pressing defenders. Not a great clearance from Hogarth, though. He floated it out to the right-hand side, but over the head of Yates into touch. So Rangers do have a throw-in. Just it's still around 76-24% possession for Falkirk, and that's not good control from Asgard. So Falkirk back in possession in their own half with Henderson. Across the Heart left-hand side. Not particularly a fast tempo this game. Falkirk very nonchalant in possession, cool, composed, but obviously struggling to break down the Rangers rear guard at the moment. And of course Rangers probably not seen enough of the ball to threaten another goal. On the left for Falkirk, Ross looking for a Parkinson, intercepted by Diamandi, and it's Barron who brings it clear. Moore still inside his own half at the moment, approaching the halfway line, closed down by Cartwright, who then slips, so Moore's able to turn. Barron back to him, a 1-2 with Fernandez. Diamandi under pressure, but offloads to Suter, and Rangers start again. In fact, there was no advantage, so a free kick, but they've taken it with a rolling ball, so the referee, Duncan Nicholson incidentally, pulls it back as Suter looks for a diagonal out to the left hand side. It's a pretty good one as well. Asgard has it, wants some support, comes from Moore, 25 yards out, level with the left edge of the area, 1-2 with Chimiti. Moore then tries to beat his man, he can't, gets away from him, cleared away into touch, and throw into Rangers on the halfway line. Danny Roll under pressure, do you reckon, for defeats? They might well have been favourites to win the title going into the split. They were only a point behind Hearts at the time. It's difficult to say he's under pressure given what position they were in, but maybe he's under pressure.
Yeah, probably so. There are a few rumours going around that maybe they are looking for a new manager, Rangers, and you know, if Falkirk can make it a 5 successive defeat, then it might be his job under a little bit of pressure. But I think for now, with the win, might just reset a few of the minds.
Yeah, John McLean had been linked with the Celtic position as well. There is a fantastic work with Falkirk, back-to-back promotions. Okay, they're only going to finish 6th, but that's not a bad return to the top flight. There's a stoppage in play, not 100% sure why. It should have been a throw-in to Rangers. It didn't appear to be an injury. We're not seeing a man down, but the players were having a drink and etc. on the touchline. Both sets of players now they're starting to get back into a semblance of position. 3 goals, but the third went in the 7th minute, so we've had 15 or 16 minutes without a goal, and not too many efforts to worry Butland or Hogarth. Of course, Butland's had a couple of back passes to deal with. Still goalless in the other games. A bit more tense, I imagine. Those in, of course, below Motherwell in the standings, but they're only a point behind as well, so they could claim 4th. Not surprising they're not particularly gung-ho. Restart at the Falkirk Stadium. Great diagonal from Suter. It's kept alive. Ball into the box. Asgard, slight miscontrol. He was under pressure from Henderson. Almost turned his man actually, but it's cleared by Hogarth. Into touch. A Rangers throw on the halfway line. And we're past the midway point. The game hasn't really got going, I don't think. But we've had 3 goals. It's Falkirk 1, Rangers 2. And Joe will take us through to half time.
Ball is with Rangers inside of their own half. Not much pressure coming from Falkirk at the moment. They try and play the ball through towards Diomande. Then tries to lay it back up to Gassama. He's lost possession of the ball to Henderson, who's come racing up the field out of his defensive duties and has put Rangers under a little bit of pressure. And Falkirk have won back possession of the ball, but it's a good challenge that comes in though from Barron, who wins the ball, but the referee has pulled it back though for the free kick. So Falkirk will have a free kick inside of the Rangers half, and it looks like it'll be Spencer, the man who stands over it to take it. Miller has gone over onto the right hand side. It's not in a dangerous position though. More centre of the field then for Spencer, who waits to take it. Drops it onto the left hand side for Henderson then. Henderson goes back down the field onto the left hand side. Has to cut inside back onto himself though. Lay it off to Spence, who's been put under a little bit of pressure by Chimiti. And Chimiti will chase down Hogarth then, who just lays it off into the right hand side path of Nielsen. Nielsen goes downfield with it. Ball is flicked on by Parkinson into the path of Braggio, but good defending in the end by Rangers, who have won themselves a throw-in. Wanted to take it quickly, but Falkirk, the passing just hasn't been maybe the best, and that's why they're not getting the ball into the final third.
No, I mean they're dominating possession, but with what little Rangers have had, they've had 5 shots, scored 2 goals. So, I mean, that's one of the key differences between these clubs, of course. And they've got a chance at Rangers again, but Moore's pass is slightly under. Having said that, there was no advantage. There was a tug back. Another yellow card's come out, I think, to Spencer. It looked a poor pass to me from Moore, but clearly the referee was right next to him, saw a foul. Not sure it was a yellow card, offence in my opinion, but that's what his brand is. So all the possession for Falkirk, yet they've got 2 yellow cards.
Indeed they do, and now Rangers have got themselves a free kick as well inside the Falkirk half then on the left hand side. It's looking like Romens will be the taker of it. He's got one arm raised before waiting to put this one inside of the box then. Referee's just having a word with 1 or 2 players who are pushing and shoving on the edge of the area then. Still having a word on that right hand side, but the players go back to pushing anyway, and Romens will deliver this ball in. It's headed away by Spencer. Miller now has possession of it, cleared by Yates then, long downfield. Broggio is looking for the ball, picks it up, but he's dispossessed by Romens, who gets back nicely there, recovers himself, and now the ball is with Gassama on the right hand side, and he'll race down, plenty of space to run into, nobody really coming out towards him. Chiamiti will put a ball inside the box. Nice turn, shot comes in, it's into the back of the net. It was a hand from the goalkeeper, but it's in to the back of the net. I think it's Gassama who has scored the 3rd for Rangers. And well, the goalkeeper Hogarth managed to get a hand onto the ball, but yet again, poor defensively by Falkirk.
Yeah, it's a lovely turn though, to get past his man. They overcommitted. Didn't quite see who it was. Of course, the 2 yellow cards. They might have been worried about making a challenge, but they pressed too tight, and it was a lovely turn. Not sure he hit it cleanly, but that kind of range, fingertips maybe. Hogarth hasn't got much chance. He hit it hard enough, and Rangers got a 3rd. That's what we're saying. Little possession, but an end product. A bit of sharpness in the final 3rd. I mean, I guess that happens when they're trying to be a little bit more quick and direct. Falkirk have got possession, but that's what they've got. They've not got a threat. Rangers want to score goals, it seems, and they've got 3 inside 28 minutes. I thought it was a lovely turn, but how much space do they want to give Gassama? They've given him space all game so far, and of course that's despite having all the ball. But Rangers, bigger squad, perhaps a bit more depth, something to prove maybe. They've got a 3rd goal. That 9 goals is still on.
Yeah, I think it was Hart that didn't want to push on to him because there was nobody in behind him to try and mark Chiamiti then, and in the end it led to the goal for Rangers, and the referee just waiting his time for the kick-off to be taken. Not sure what's going on down there, maybe a VAR check I think, because the referee may be having a word in his ear before this one will be taken.
Yeah, it's not obvious what the foul might be, because it didn't look offside, that's for sure. Gassama had space. It's kind of a long one too. Chiamiti had pulled away to the right hand side and just fed it back into the feet of Gassama. Lovely turn to get away from his man. I don't know whether he used an arm or an elbow to protect the ball. It didn't look like it, and he's pointed to the spot as the referee, the centre spot. So it will be a goal. Yeah, it didn't look obvious what that foul might be, and obviously they've cleared it up.
Yeah, indeed, Andrew Dallas is the man who is the VAR today. He was the man who also gave the penalty for Celtic in the game recently, as the ball is on to the right hand side. It's a loose pass yet again. It's picked up by Gassama. Chiamiti tried to roll it into the path of Asgard, and away long downfield it goes. It will be headed back towards Butland then, and Parkinson, well, he was going to give chase but decides not to in the end. He will close down Sutan out and close down Butland as well, but it's just 1-2 passing from Rangers, and Falkirk are only using 1 man, so there's not much help for Parkinson. And here comes Gassama again, trying to get away from the challenge of Ross, and does manage to do so before he finds his pathway blocked though by Spencer, who finds Broggio, tries to get it downfield into the path of Parkinson. Well defended in the end, and the referee has, well, the linesman, sorry, on that far side has raised his offside flag. for Miller then, and Sutar will now take this free kick then. There'll be one that goes long downfield inside of the Falkirk half then. Ran onto by Gassama, he's kept it in play, he's up against Hart, turns him nicely, goes inside into that right foot, needs a little bit of support though, finds it. Jigger will now pass it back towards Sutar, and Rangers will have it back in their own half then. Ball onto the left hand side for Remens, race downfield onto Moore then. Moore needs a little bit of support, finds it onto the left hand side. Diamande will now have possession of it. Cuts back inside into that right foot, puts a ball, dangerous one inside the box. Giamitti's got his head to it. It's a good save in the end by Hogarth. It was actually Asgard, who got his head onto it in the 6-yard box, and a brilliant save from Hogarth.
Yeah, brilliant save, lovely cross as well. I don't think the marking was fantastic. Perhaps got sucked across towards the near post. It looked like a nailed on fourth, but brilliant save from Hogarth, and it is only going to be a corner. I mean, that's the difference between the two sides. A bit of an end product, danger, panic at the back defensively. I think just moving the ball quicker and perhaps taking on a man. Rangers are obviously carving out chances. They've scored 3 goals, might have had a couple more.
Yeah, and the corner will be taken then inside of the 6-yard box, punched away by Hogarth and headed clear by Spencer onto this right hand side where Morris picked it up, tries to turn his man away from Hart, but in the end it come off him last, and it will be a throw-in for Falkirk on that left-hand side, which Hart will looks to be the taker of. He's looking for movement around him. He's got Ross in front of him, but he maybe goes down the line with this one. Still waiting his time, and he does throw it down the line towards Ross, and Jigger's just picked that up on the right-hand side, plays it into the path of Barron, who's lost it out. Diamande goes challenging in there, but it's Falkirk who've come away with the ball onto this right hand side with Ross then. Ross will continue his run down. He's stopped though in the tracks, gets inside of the box, tries to put a cross in, it's blocked out and then cleared away by Diamande. Comes on to the left hand side. Giamitti then gets fouled down there, and Rangers will have a free kick on the right hand side, but Falkirk just not getting the balls inside the box.
No, I mean Rangers doing a job really. I didn't think that was a foul, if I'm being honest, but they're doing a job because even though there was a chance to cross, there's 2-3 defenders getting back there, and Falkirk are looking okay in the middle third. There's an injury, I was just seeing 2 medical staff run onto the field, and so the players are off to the touchline again, and it appears to be in and around the Rangers box, so I don't know if it's Butland or a Rangers defender. It's independent, unofficial off-tube studio commentary. We don't actually have control of the pitches, and it's nobody's in shot at the moment. I mean, quite literally nobody's in shot, so I think that's the difference though. Falkirk are looking good in the middle third, but obviously they've conceded 3 goals and they haven't had a shot yet with all that possession, so there's obviously things to improve for Falkirk. I don't want to detract away from their season, and it's not easy playing Rangers, who perhaps got a point to prove, but they're better players in the middle third. Defensively, not good. Rangers have scored 3, and of course Hogarth's made 2 saves, one to deny Moore, one to deny Asgard. And of course Butland, the only thing at the moment he's going to be remembered for is a miscontrolled back pass that scored an own goal. So yeah, Falkirk are doing okay, but not at the either end.
Yeah, indeed. Of course, Falkirk have just have lost just one of their last 5 home league games against Rangers, 2 wins and 2 draws, although that was in their most recent defeat, 6-3 in April. And Rangers have only lost one of their last 48 top flight matches against Falkirk, 39 wins, 8 draws, a 1-0 defeat in December 2006 is about the last time. And we will now get ready to come back on with this free kick then for Butland, but we've had a goal in the game between Hibernian and Motherwell.
Yeah, Motherwell in 4th, who probably a little bit disappointed they conceded that penalty in midweek. They've taken the lead. They threw Fadinga, so they're 1-0 up and going to stay fourth as Rangers come forward. Shoot an opportunity from the edge of the box. Now he's faked it. Diamandi still on the attack. Asgard goes for goal. Right underneath that one. Balloons over the bar. I was thinking it might have taken a deflection given the trajectory of the ball, but clearly not. Just a disappointing shot in the end. So the tense games have finally had a deadlock broken. Of course, it's still Celtic 0, Hearts 0. Hearts at the moment still the champions. Yeah,
and with 10 minutes plus additional time left of this first half action, then it is Falkirk 1, Rangers 3, and it's Falkirk who have possession of the ball. Long downfield it goes onto the right hand side. Goes chasing, does Miller. Will he put a ball inside the box? He won't. He gets challenged, and it'll be a goal kick. Last touch coming off of Miller, and a few of the Falkirk players not happy with that decision given by the linesman. They thought it touched the Rangers man last, but Rangers have a goal kick, which Butland will take onto the right hand side of his 6-yard box, with Suter then just plays it into the path of Gassama. Gassama onto the right hand side then. Ball forward by Asgard. Asgard will pick it up on the left hand side now with Moore. Moore through ball. There has been, I believe, a change whipped inside, and Hogarth has collected the ball. So a change has actually come within that. The man who was injured, Giga, has gone off of the field, and it's looking like Aaron has come on in replace of him then.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's a problem in a sense as Suter deals with it. Will they go to a flat back four, trying to play with the 3? I mean, that seems sensible. Max Aaron's coming on in his place. Having said that, didn't really see... it frees up Gassama a little bit, is what I mean. Mikey Moore down the left-hand side, pulled back, is behind Chimiti. I think it took a deflection. There was only Chimiti in the box, really, for Rangers, and it was heading in his direction, but I think it just hit the heel of Nielsen and then went behind Chimiti. And again, Rangers, not much ball, but looked dangerous. Suter wins a foul off Parkinson. It frees up Gassama a little bit. He's been a real outlet for Rangers. Obviously, Aaron's will like to get forward as well. Not necessarily the worst injury last day of the season for Rangers, particularly 3-1 up.
Yeah, indeed. And the ball is with Rangers after they have won themselves a free kick. Miller has been awarded a yellow card as well. Ball switched on to that left-hand side. Flick through towards Gassama, puts a ball inside the box, and Chimiti was arriving there. He tried the volley first time but got it wrong, and it goes out for a goal kick, which he tried to chase down there again, but ball inside the box was another dangerous one by Rangers, and they're not picking up anybody on the edge of the box, it looks like, Falkirk at the moment. Every time Rangers come in, there's always a ball towards the outside of the box, and Rangers players are getting onto him.
Yeah, I mean, Chimiti's in the box, and there aren't that many Rangers players in the box. As a poor pass out from Hogarth gives Rangers a throw-in halfway inside the Falkirk half. I mean, Mikey Moore, obviously, he's got talent and he can pick out a cross, but somebody's got to get closer to Chimiti. There's enough defenders back there to leave the one man not unmarked. I thought the cross itself was just a little bit high and beyond him, so it would have been a pretty athletic volley to get on the end of it. Going away from him, not easy, and of course he didn't get much of a concept, but Falkirk have got to wake up a little bit. I've talked about their possession, but they're not picking up runners and they're not stopping crosses coming into the box. They've got to tighten up. Yeah,
they do indeed, as ball is with Falkirk then inside of their own half. Ball onto the left hand side is a good one, looking for Parkinson. Got plenty of space in there. We'll try and deliver a ball in, headed away by Fernandez, who was coming back across the 6-yard box, and it'll be a corner for Falkirk. Will they try and get this one inside the box? The last 2 of them, they've gone short, and in the end it's just been easily picked up by Rangers, so I wonder if they'll head towards now and look to get it inside of that 6-yard box and cause Butland some issues then.
I think with Aaron's replacing Giga, there is one less, defensive strength aerially.
And ball inside of the box then towards the far post. Headers go up. Rangers have dealt with it though. It comes back out onto the right hand side for Hart, who's battling up there well, but it comes off of him. Last Diamande and him were battling, and it's out for a goal kick, which Butland of course will take his time in getting the ball, but this time it was delivered in there into a dangerous spot. But Rangers seem very comfortable whenever Falkirk seem to be attacking them.
Yeah, they're not finding teammates in the Rangers area really. They're getting into decent positions. Obviously Parkinson found a bit of space. Obviously he hasn't seen much of the ball in the first half so far, as the tip of the spear as it were, but he peeled away to the left and he's in space. He's looking for a teammate, and it didn't look the worst cross you've ever seen, but of course he's got to beat Rangers defenders. So I think Rangers are just doing a good enough job at the moment. Another stoppage in play. Rangers have got a goal kick, but yeah, they're not taking it, and nobody's ushering them on. This isn't time wasting. I think the referee has seen something. Again, it's independent unofficial off-tube studio commentary. Falkirk 1, Rangers 3. Less than 4 minutes to go of the 45, but we've had at least 3 stoppages now, and of course there has been 1 enforced change for Rangers too.
Yeah, indeed. The referee has just told Jack Butland to wait a moment before he takes this goal kick, so I'm not entirely sure what he is looking at. There didn't seem to be anything inside the box when we saw the corner being taken, or anything afterwards. So I'm not sure what the referee might be looking at here. Whether VAR has got involved either, or maybe there's a player down. We can't see at the moment. Of course, there's 5 minutes of the first half left to be played. Of course, quite a bit of extra time will be added on. But we will wait to find out what is happening then, as Butland has just picked up the ball, waits to do something with it. Rangers have lost 4 consecutive league matches for only the second time in the club's history, after a run of 5 successive defeats from October to November in 1983.
That's a while ago.
It is, yeah, it is indeed. Yes, it is indeed. And well, the referee's coming over now to the box, and I think he's awarded a penalty.
I mean, we don't have the pictures, but clearly it must be a penalty, because I think it's Miller who's run up to take the ball off Butland, and yeah, they're coming to the edge of the box. Unfortunately, we haven't had replays. Difficult to say what that's for. Was it the cross which went behind? I don't know. Well, this is a penalty. It's a penalty to Falkirk. Not entirely sure what for, unfortunately, but Falkirk a chance to get back in it again.
Yes, indeed. Whether there was a handball while there was a handball when Rangers were trying to deal with the ball, we don't know. But Falkirk have been awarded a penalty. Then it's Miller who will be the taker of it. He steps away from the ball and waits for the referee's whistle. Then he steps up, takes it down towards the keeper's right hand side, and he's into the back of the net. It goes. The keeper dived the right way, but it's Falkirk who've got a second. It's Rangers who still lead in this game, but it's Miller who has nicely taken that penalty into the right hand side of the net. Yeah,
it's Butland's gone the right way, but no chance really. It's hit with enough pace, picked his spot, found it, and well, Falkirk 2, Rangers 3. 5 goals. No idea what the penalty was for, unfortunately, but Miller doesn't care. There was no remonstrating either. Clearly, obviously, you can tell that's the game has nothing riding on it. Nobody's really questioning the referee's decision. He comes in, has a word with Butland, and says it's a penalty, and everybody gets on with it.
Yeah, and well, kickoff will be taken then. Long downfield, headed away by Nielsen. Ball is kept in play though on that left-hand side, by Spencer. Ball is chipped on. Shot comes in from Moore. It's one on the turn, and it's not a good shot either. It just rolls straight out of play for a goal kick then, which Falkirk now taken quickly. Onto the right-hand side it goes, downfield for Broggio, who can't keep it in play, and it will go out for a Rangers throw-in on that left-hand side now. And well, it looked like Fernandez wanted to take it, but he's left it for Romens then, who will try and get it down the line towards Moore, but he's quickly dispossessed down the line by Yates, who then switches the play nicely out towards Hart. That goes inside, and a foul has been committed then, but we've had a goal between Celtic and Hearts.
Yeah, big goal as well. Shankland, header from a corner, has given Hearts the advantage, so they're certainly winning the title as things stand. Needs a better second half as the cross comes in, dealt with by Fernandez. Falkirk still on the attack.
Yeah, they are indeed on this right-hand side. Ball is played in towards Cartwright. Switched back out towards Yates, who can deliver a ball inside the box. Headed away nicely by Fernandez. Comes back out towards Spencer, who tries the shot. Straight over the crossbar it goes, and out for a goal kick. Well, Falkirk finally taking a few of their chances, trying to take a few of their shots as well. But that one didn't even reach the target. But it was a nice idea from Spencer, and finally they're getting balls inside the box.
Yeah, that's a shot, isn't it? The shot that's not a penalty. It's not the great shot, but it is perhaps just a reminder. We are in stoppage time, into the second minute of stoppage time. Incidentally, 5 goals, and it just doesn't have that sort of feel to the game. I think it's largely because, well, obviously there's a penalty that we don't know what was for, and an own goal, but Falkirk aren't strong enough at the back against this Rangers side. But I wouldn't say Rangers are busting a gut. I don't think Falkirk are busting a gut, and somehow it's Falkirk 2, Rangers 3.
Indeed, and Falkirk have got themselves a free kick then, which they've taken back towards Hogarth, who then tries to get it downfield towards Parkinson, who was making the run round the back of Fernandez, but Fernandez has seen that and dealt with it, and just plays it into Butland. Actually, there's an offside anyway for Parkinson, and Rangers will have themselves a free kick on the left-hand side with Fernandez, who will just drop it into the path of Aarons then. On to Suter. Suter plays it through the middle for Asgard. Asgard then switches it onto Moore on the left-hand side. He's been tightly marked and has to play it back towards the Rangers defence. In Suter then. Suter plays it forward back to Asgard, but he's put under a little bit of pressure. Diamande was the intended target of the ball from Suter, but he's lost it out towards Spencer. And ball onto the right-hand side. Shot comes in, saved by Butland. That is near post then. Parkinson with the shot. It looked like it was going wide, but Butland couldn't take any chances, and it's a good save by Butland.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't go for the cross. It's a tight angle. You don't expect him to score. But he's hit it hard, he's hit it true, and it's forced the save. Late corner then for Falkirk to get an equaliser. 3 minutes of stoppage time completed, and they've got a corner.
Ball's gone through in towards the 6-yard box. Oh, it was missed there by Parkinson, who had arrived, and it was also missed by Fernandez as well. Both of them getting inside of the box, and both of them missing the ball. It went right through them. And for a goal kick, but the referee has blown his half-time whistle then. Well, it has been a game for both teams very relaxed, both teams trying to get plenty of chances on, and at the break it is Rangers 3, Falkirk 2.
Half time at Falkirk Stadium. It's Falkirk 2, Rangers 3. Rangers taking control inside 6 minutes. Chimiti with a brace. Early toe poke beyond the keeper from a tight angle, and then a 25-yard volley into the top corner. But it was 2-1 shortly after. Butland miscontrolled a back pass into the back of his own net before Gassama worked a 1-2 and rifled it past the Hogarth to restore the 2-goal cushion. But just before the break, Miller slotted home a penalty for Falkirk, 2-3. of time at Falkirk Stadium. It's Falkirk 2, Rangers 3. Rangers taking control inside 6 minutes. Chimiti with a brace. Early toe poke beyond the keeper from a tight angle, and then a 25-yard volley into the top corner. But it was 2-1 shortly after. Butland miscontrolled a back pass into the back of his own net before Gassama worked a 1-2 and rifled it past the Hogarth to restore the 2-goal cushion. But just before the break, Miller slotted home a penalty for Falkirk. 2-3 of time at Falkirk Stadium. It's Falkirk 2, Rangers 3. Rangers taking control inside 6 minutes. Chimiti with a brace. Early toe poke beyond the keeper from a tight angle, and then a 25-yard volley into the top corner. But it was 2-1 shortly after. Butland miscontrolled a back pass into the back of his own net before Gassama worked a 1-2 and rifled it past the Hogarth to restore the 2-goal cushion. But just before the break, Miller slotted home a penalty for Falkirk. 2-3 of time at Falkirk Stadium. It's Falkirk 2, Rangers 3. Rangers taking control inside 6 minutes. Chimiti with a brace. Early toe poke beyond the keeper from a tight angle, and then a 25-yard volley into the top corner. But it was 2-1 shortly after. Butland miscontrolled a back pass into the back of his own net before Gassama worked a 1-2 and rifled it past the Hogarth to restore the 2-goal cushion. But just before the break, Miller slotted home a penalty for Falkirk. 2-3 of time at Falkirk Stadium. It's Falkirk 2, Rangers 3. Rangers taking control inside 6 minutes. Chimiti with a brace. Early toe poke beyond the keeper from a tight angle, and then a 25-yard volley into the top corner. But it was 2-1 shortly after. Butland miscontrolled a back pass into the back of his own net before Gassama worked a 1-2 and rifled it past the Hogarth to restore the 2-goal cushion. But just before the break, Miller slotted home a penalty for Falkirk. 2-3 of time at Falkirk Stadium. It's Falkirk 2, Rangers 3. Rangers taking control inside 6 minutes. Chimiti with a brace. Early toe poke beyond the keeper from a tight angle, and then a 25-yard volley into the top corner. But it was 2-1 shortly after. Butland miscontrolled a back pass into the back of his own net before Gassama worked a 1-2 and rifled it past the Hogarth to restore the 2-goal cushion. But just before the break, Miller slotted home a penalty for Falkirk. 2-3 of time at Falkirk Stadium. It's Falkirk 2, Rangers 3. Rangers taking control inside 6 minutes. Chimiti with a brace. Early toe poke beyond the keeper from a tight angle, and then a 25-yard volley into the top corner. But it was 2-1 shortly after. Butland miscontrolled a back pass into the back of his own net before Gassama worked a 1-2 and rifled it past the Hogarth to restore the 2-goal cushion. But just before the break, Miller slotted home a penalty for Falkirk. 2-3 of time at Falkirk Stadium. It's Falkirk 2, Rangers 3. Rangers taking control inside 6 minutes. Chimiti with a brace. Early toe poke beyond the keeper from a tight angle, and then a 25-yard volley into the top corner. But it was 2-1 shortly after. Butland miscontrolled a back pass into the back of his own net before Gassama worked a 1-2 and rifled it past the Hogarth to restore the 2-goal cushion. But just before the break, Miller slotted home a penalty for Falkirk. 2-3 of time at Falkirk Stadium. It's Falkirk 2, Rangers 3. Rangers taking control inside 6 minutes. Chimiti with a brace. Early toe poke beyond the keeper from a tight angle, and then a 25-yard volley into the top corner. But it was 2-1 shortly after. Butland miscontrolled a back pass into the back of his own net before Gassama worked a 1-2 and rifled it past the Hogarth to restore the 2-goal cushion. But just before the break, Miller slotted home a penalty for Falkirk. 2-3 of time at Falkirk Stadium. It's Falkirk 2, Rangers 3. Rangers taking control inside 6 minutes. Chimiti with a brace. Early toe poke beyond the keeper from a tight angle, and then a 25-yard volley into the top corner. But it was 2-1 shortly after. Butland miscontrolled a back pass into the back of his own net before Gassama worked a 1-2 and rifled it past the Hogarth to restore the 2-goal cushion. But just before the break, Miller slotted home a penalty for Falkirk. 2-3 of time at Falkirk Stadium. It's Falkirk 2, Rangers 3. Rangers taking control inside 6 minutes. Chimiti with a brace. Early toe poke beyond the keeper from a tight angle, and then a 25-yard volley into the top corner. But it was 2-1 shortly after. Butland miscontrolled a back pass into the back of his own net before Gassama worked a 1-2 and rifled it past the Hogarth to restore the 2-goal cushion. But just before the break, Miller slotted home a penalty for Falkirk. 2-3 of time at Falkirk Stadium. It's Falkirk Falkirk 2, Rangers 3. Rangers taking control inside 6 minutes. Chimiti with a brace. Early toe poke beyond the keeper from a tight angle, and then a 25-yard volley into the top corner, but it was 2-1 shortly after. Butland miscontrolled a back pass into the back of his own net before Gassama worked a 1-2 and rifled it past the Hogarth to restore the 2-goal cushion. But just before the break, Miller slotted home a penalty for Falkirk. 2-3 off time at Falkirk Stadium. It's Falkirk 2, Rangers 3. Rangers taking control inside 6 minutes. Chimiti with a brace. Early toe poke beyond the keeper from a tight angle, and then a 25-yard volley into the top corner, but it was 2-1 shortly after. Butland miscontrolled a back pass into the back of his own net before Gassama worked a 1-2 and rifled it past the Hogarth to restore the 2-goal cushion. But just before the break, Miller slotted home a penalty for Falkirk. 2-3 off time at Falkirk Stadium. It's Falkirk 2, Rangers 3. Rangers taking control inside 6 minutes. Chimiti with a brace. Early toe poke beyond the keeper from a tight angle, and then a 25-yard volley into the top corner, but it was 2-1 shortly after. Butland miscontrolled a back pass into the back of his own net before Gassama worked a 1-2 and rifled it past the Hogarth to restore the 2-goal cushion. But just before the break, Miller slotted home a penalty for Falkirk. 2-3 off time at Falkirk Stadium. It's Falkirk 2, Rangers 3. Rangers taking control inside 6 minutes. Chimiti with a brace. Early toe poke beyond the keeper from a tight angle, and then a 25-yard volley into the top corner, but it was 2-1 shortly after. Butland miscontrolled a back pass into the back of his own net before Gassama worked a 1-2 and rifled it past the Hogarth to restore the 2-goal cushion. But just before the break, Miller slotted home a penalty for Falkirk. 2-3 off time at Falkirk Stadium. It's Falkirk 2, Rangers 3. Rangers taking control inside 6 minutes. Chimiti with a brace. Early toe poke beyond the keeper from a tight angle, and then a 25-yard volley into the top corner, but it was 2-1 shortly after. Butland miscontrolled a back pass into the back of his own net before Gassama worked a 1-2 and rifled it past the Hogarth to restore the 2-goal cushion. But just before the break, Miller slotted home a penalty for Falkirk. 2-3 off time at Falkirk Stadium. It's Falkirk 2, Rangers 3. Rangers taking control inside 6 minutes. Chimiti with a brace. Early toe poke beyond the keeper from a tight angle, and then a 25-yard volley into the top corner, but it was 2-1 shortly after. Butland miscontrolled a back pass into the back of his own net before Gassama worked a 1-2 and rifled it past the Hogarth to restore the 2-goal cushion. But just before the break, Miller slotted home a penalty for Falkirk. 2-3 off time at Falkirk Stadium. It's Falkirk 2, Rangers 3. Rangers taking control inside 6 minutes. Chimiti with a brace. Early toe poke beyond the keeper from a tight angle, and then a 25-yard volley into the top corner, but it was 2-1 shortly after. Butland miscontrolled a back pass into the back of his own net before Gassama worked a 1-2 and rifled it past the Hogarth to restore the 2-goal cushion. But just before the break, Miller slotted home a penalty for Falkirk. 2-3 off time at Falkirk Stadium. It's Falkirk 2, Rangers 3. Rangers taking control inside 6 minutes. Chimiti with a brace. Early toe poke beyond the keeper from a tight angle, and then a 25-yard volley into the top corner, but it was 2-1 shortly after. Butland miscontrolled a back pass into the back of his own net before Gassama worked a 1-2 and rifled it past the Hogarth to restore the 2-goal cushion. But just before the break, Miller slotted home a penalty for Falkirk. 2-3 off time at Falkirk Stadium. It's Falkirk 2, Rangers 3. Rangers taking control inside 6 minutes. Chimiti with a brace. Early toe poke beyond the keeper from a tight angle, and then a 25-yard volley into the top corner, but it was 2-1 shortly after. Butland miscontrolled a back pass into the back of his own net before Gassama worked a 1-2 and rifled it past the Hogarth to restore the 2-goal cushion. But just before the break, Miller slotted home a penalty for Falkirk. 2-3 off time at Falkirk Stadium. It's Falkirk 2, Rangers 3. Rangers taking control inside 6 minutes. Chimiti with a brace. Early toe poke beyond the keeper from a tight angle, and then a 25-yard volley into the top corner, but it was 2-1 shortly after. Butland miscontrolled a back pass into the back of his own net before Gassama worked a 1-2 and rifled it past the Hogarth to restore the 2-goal cushion. But just before the break, Miller slotted home a penalty for Falkirk. 2-3 off time at Falkirk Stadium. It's Falkirk 2, Rangers 3. Rangers taking taking control inside 6 minutes. Chimiti with a brace, early toe poke beyond the keeper from a tight angle, and then a 25-yard volley into the top corner, but it was 2-1 shortly after. Butland miscontrolled a back pass into the back of his own net before Gassama worked a 1-2 and rifled it past the Hogarth to restore the 2-goal cushion. But just before the break, Miller slotted home a penalty for Falkirk. 2-3 half time at Falkirk Stadium. It's Falkirk 2, Rangers 3. Rangers taking control inside 6 minutes. Chimiti with a brace, early toe poke beyond the keeper from a tight angle, and then a 25-yard volley into the top corner, but it was 2-1 shortly after. Butland miscontrolled a back pass into the back of his own net before Gassama worked a 1-2 and rifled it past the Hogarth to restore the 2-goal cushion. But just before the break, Miller slotted home a penalty for Falkirk. 2-3 half time at Falkirk Stadium. It's Falkirk 2, Rangers 3. Rangers taking control inside 6 minutes. Chimiti with a brace, early toe poke beyond the keeper from a tight angle, and then a 25-yard volley into the top corner, but it was 2-1 shortly after. Butland miscontrolled a back pass into the back of his own net before Gassama worked a 1-2 and rifled it past the Hogarth to restore the 2-goal cushion. But just before the break, Miller slotted home a penalty for Falkirk. 2-3 half time at Falkirk Stadium. It's Falkirk 2, Rangers 3. Rangers taking control inside 6 minutes. Chimiti with a brace, early toe poke beyond the keeper from a tight angle, and then a 25-yard volley into the top corner, but it was 2-1 shortly after. Butland miscontrolled a back pass into the back of his own net before Gassama worked a 1-2 and rifled it past the Hogarth to restore the 2-goal cushion. But just before the break, Miller slotted home a penalty for Falkirk. 2-3 half time at Falkirk Stadium. It's Falkirk 2, Rangers 3. Rangers taking control inside 6 minutes. Well, a warm welcome back to our coverage of the action taking place at Falkirk Stadium. Falkirk 2, Rangers 3, the half-time score. 5 goals. Rangers will be wondering how they've not put this game to bed, in the sense that they've scored 3 legitimate goals. Hogarth's made a couple of very good saves as well, but unfortunately for Rangers, Butland has miscontrolled the back pass, and there was a late penalty, which I can only assume was handball. From a set piece that nobody was really appealing for, but obviously VAR spotted and gave a late penalty. An early shot comes in 20-25 yards out from Falkirk on the attack, and it's high wide, but an early shot across the bows in this second half for the home side. Can tell you that Celtic got a late penalty in the first half to equalise. So that's 1-1 in the title decider. Motherwell leading Hibernian 1-0. Rangers on the attack with Mikey Moore, but he's tackled, and now the break is on for Falkirk. Now they've overplayed it, looking out to Miller, and Rangers come again, left-hand side. Diamandi closed down. Falkirk have got bodies back behind the ball. If you didn't know, of course, Falkirk have got 3 players on a caution. Cartwright, Spencer and Miller. Don't think there are any changes. I beg your pardon, there are changes at the break, which we didn't see. Come to those in a moment. Rangers are on the attack, left-hand side. Romans with the cross to the far post. Oh, and that is the hat-trick, I think, for Chimiti, getting high above his man, powered a header into the ground, into the back of the net, and Chimiti has completed a hat-trick within... He's got his third within 2 minutes of the restart.
Yeah, indeed. Lovely ball inside the box, and yet again he's not picked up by any of the Falkirk players, and Chimiti has got his hat-trick. What a header into the back of the net. Hogarth couldn't do much about it, and Chimiti with his third of the game and the 4th for Rangers.
Yeah, too much space down the left for Romans. Picked his spot. I mean, he got a big leap in there, in fairness to the defenders. I think Chimiti just wanted the hat-trick as his towering header completes the treble. The changes that weren't obvious to us, they've made 3 actually. McIver, Allen and Tate are on. This is Falkirk, obviously. McIver, Allen and Tate have come on for Parkinson, Cartwright and Spencer. So 2 players who are on a yellow card, of course, have left the field of play. There's head injury for Fernandez for Rangers, so another brief stoppage. Is that protection for yellow cards, or were they perhaps just not quite offering the defence any kind of protection? Thoughts on the changes?
I don't really know. Maybe for a few defensive changes, maybe for a few attacking changes as well. Trying to get more bodies inside the box, maybe some use of fresh legs, but it's not worked out defensively, of course, already. Rangers have got themselves a goal, so maybe attacking changes and to hope out that they can help with the attack and get a little bit more pace up inside the box for Falkirk.
Rangers straight back on the attack. Fernandez is okay. Roman's down the left-hand side. This time his cross is blocked into touch, so it will only be a throw-in for Rangers, maybe 10 yards from the corner flag. And they're straight back on the attack. 4-2, of course they lead now. 1-6-3, last time they played Falkirk. You would think these games have just loaded with goals, of course, but prior to that it was a goalless draw typically, and only 1-1 before that in the 3 matches, but finishing with a flourish, and it could be a chance. Ball into the box, Miller. That is denied by Butland. Rangers sprung the offside. They were all at sea, and maybe Miller should have done better. Keeper to beat. It was a good ball in. Butland's made himself big. He's managed to get the block in, and it's only going to be a corner. It looked as though he's trying to slip it under the advancing Butland, but he didn't quite find the nutmeg. Big chance though for Falkirk.
Yeah, indeed. Miller all on his own inside the box. Lovely ball inside there to him, and I think he's got to put that one into the back of the net, but he was looking to go underneath Butland. Butland made himself big, and good save.
Butland comes out to punch the corner as well, and got good depth on that corner. In fact, he was fouled doing it, so it's going to be a free kick to Rangers. Might have had a goal at each end within 5 minutes of the restart, so the team talk not exactly suggesting that either side's going to batten down the hatches, that is for sure, as Gassama tries to turn his man, and he might just have been fouled there. Frustrations for Falkirk. They didn't think it was a foul, but Gassama is picking himself up now. It's a free kick to Rangers just inside their own half right hand side. And frustrations for the home fans. Hart he just thought that Gassama was making a bit of a meal of things, but it's back. He's back on his feet, and Suter has the free kick. He was going to take it short. In fact, goes long, looking for a Chimiti in the box, but that's just an easy catch for Hogarth. I think Alan might have slotted into right back for Falkirk, freeing up Yates a little bit more perhaps. We'll see how that pans out. No, I say that, he's in the middle of the field right now. Falkirk still seeing plenty of the ball, just not as direct as Rangers, and so therefore able to keep the ball for a fair while. We'll try and keep you up to speed with scores and scorers elsewhere. As we've said, it's still 1-1 Celtic Hearts, it's still Hibernian 0, Motherwell 1. So the away side's enjoying a decent enough day in the Scottish Premiership at this point, but Celtic only need one more, and I think Hearts have been the leaders since September, so it'll be an absolute gut-wrencher to be denied the title on the very last day of the season. Of course, they've beaten Celtic and drawn in the 3 matches prior to today, as Fernandez lets the ball run, which wrong-footed McIver. That's going to go behind. Goal kick to Rangers, and they waste little time getting the ball rolling again. Suter is bringing it out, feeding it to Aarons. Tried it to feed it to Gassama, took a deflection. That's worked out kindly for Falkirk, and Hart has it for the Bairns into the centre circle. Allen closed down by Moore, has to offload to Nielsen as Falkirk start again. That's a bit more progressive from Nielsen. There's a coming together, Diamandi and I think McIver. No, neither player was near the ball. Maybe McIver was trying to milk the contact, I'm not sure. It was slightly off camera because the pass wasn't particularly good. Rangers have possession back. No free kick, says the referee, and it's cleared up towards the halfway line. Won by Hart though, getting in front of Gassama. Then he's played it off the legs of Aarons. In fact, it's Asgard getting across. Throw into Falkirk. Maybe just trying to up the tempo. Of course, they're 2 goals behind now. Perhaps less opportunities to wait for openings. Got to try and force them. Fairly patient at 2-1 down in that first half. It was 4-2. That'll be concerning for John McGlynn. Falkirk conceding within 2 minutes of either restart. As it's picked up by Falkirk, Henderson declined the 20-yarder, feeds it out to the left-hand side, switch back to the right, brought down well by Miller, who's closed down by Barron, getting away from him at the moment, more helping out, but Falkirk still have possession. Allen tries to work a 1-2, the return pass looks heavy, and indeed it is, goes behind for a goal kick to Rangers. But they are actually trying to play a bit more football as opposed to just keep the ball. They're trying to open up Rangers.
Yeah, they are indeed. They're playing balls down the line, trying to get the wingers more involved now and try and get passes more lucid. A few of them have been still not the best from them, and a few of them have gone straight back to Rangers, but they're putting the pressure on Rangers now. This is more like it from Falkirk.
Ball down the left-hand side as a player goes down in the box, and the pressure. He wants a penalty. I don't think he's going to get it. Broggio, I think it was Broggio went down. He's not going to get it under pressure. It's going to be a goal kick. I say this because VAR, of course, awarded a penalty when Rangers had a goal kick at the end of the first half. Butland's played it out to the left-hand side. Clearly, they've got the word to continue the game. Romans plays a good ball into Moore, who's gone past Henderson. Gassama, right edge of the area, checks back onto his left foot, stumbled on the ball, then can't find Moore. That was disappointing in the end from Gassama. It's hacked clear by Hogarth up to the halfway line. Fernandez, loose header though, has given it straight back to Falkirk. There's a bit of space on the right for Miller to try and exploit. Romans is trying to get back there, but Miller is only 5 yards or so, 10 yards now from the goal line. Gets it onto his left foot, swings in across, headed away by Fernandez, worked back out by Falkirk to Miller again. Now the cross comes in from Yates, a little bit overhit. Hart's trying to keep it alive. He got the final touch though, jumping over the back of Aarons. He's hoping for a corner kick. He's not going to get it. But again, positivity, pressing the game a little bit.
Yeah, they are indeed. They're using something with this possession now. That in the first half, it was just trying to launch the ball up top, and Rangers were just easily getting it back, and then they were just chilling out with the ball. But even though Falkirk had more of the possession in the first half, they weren't doing anything with it. This seems more like it from them.
Whether they can keep a clean sheet from here on in is open to question. Here go Rangers again, left-footed shot, and that's not too far away. Gassama trying to pick his spot. Hogarth wasn't 100% sure. I say that because he dived, but it's beyond the far post. Not a bad strike from that far out. Didn't test the keeper on this occasion. Of course, they've scored 4 goals already, Rangers, and Hogarth's made a couple of saves. So if they do up the tempo, you think they're going to at least create chances. Can Falkirk create chances themselves and keep the back door shut? Obviously time will tell. Into the 57th minute, Falkirk have possession inside their own half with Miller, back to Henderson, out to Hart on the left. In fact, it's Ross coming deeper, cuts inside Gassama, now goes again. Gassama didn't track the run, but then it's a loose pass into touch. Rangers throw, head in hands for Ross with a disappointing pass, but certainly they're trying to take the game to Rangers. But having scored 4 goals, as I say, Rangers are obviously very threatening when they do go forward. Into the 58th minute, of course, triple change for Falkirk at the break. Danny Roll might start to think about a change or two himself with the hour mark approaching. Anybody not performing well for Rangers for you?
No, I wouldn't say so. I think they're all doing their jobs. They're playing it comfortably, you know what I mean? They're just maybe having a little bit of fun out on the field. They're not really putting any pressure on Falkirk when they have the ball at the back, and they're just picking up the loose passes, and they're playing more of the better football.
Yeah, the 2 goals, of course, one was a penalty that we're not 100% about, and the other one was an own goal. So it's not as if you would blame defenders. Obviously, they're not desperate to have possession. They of course not putting the tackles in that sense, hence nobody's on a yellow card. Scoring goals for fun, it seems, as they have a bit of possession at the moment, but it's on the halfway line and they're forced back to Butland from the halfway line. Diamanda it was, rolled out to Fernandez. Moore's come deep. He's still inside his own half at the moment, and he's run 30 yards with the ball to try and get away from Tate. Suter forward to Diamandi, slipped through. Chimiti trying to get between two defenders. He has done, but the ball is now on the goal line. Gets out a cross of sorts. He was never going to find a teammate. Hammered away though by Henderson, fairly lateral. So it's an attacking throw for Rangers. And then it's another loose layoff, this time from Mikey Moore. But Rangers will regain the ball on the halfway line. Barron in the centre circle, closed down by Broggio. Diamandi to Fernandez. Again in the centre circle, out to the left-hand side. Romans doesn't take on his man at the moment. Fernandez, Moore waited for the ball, whereas Falkirk didn't. In-step Nielsen to bring it away, but trying to work it quickly downfield. Ultimately give up possession fairly swiftly. Asgard under pressure. Diamandi, Aaron's in a bit of space, right-hand side. Halfway inside the Falkirk half. Time and space as well. Slips it into Chimiti, who's gone round his own teammate. Finds Gassama, poor touch. 7-8 yards out. Could have gone for goal. Laid down by Asgard, looking for Romans. Hammered away by Yates. Again, I'm going to be a little bit critical of Falkirk. It looks too easy.
Yeah, it does indeed for Rangers. They had that ball on the left-hand side, Chimiti putting one in there. To be a little bit critical of Chimiti as well, he's played it into Gassama, who did have a man on him. The better option actually there was Asgard, who was all alone by the penalty spot. He did eventually get the ball, but it should have been the layoff to him instead.
Diagonal aim from left to right by Falkirk. This time Miller not going to give chase, realises it's well beyond him. Throwing to Rangers deep inside their own half. It's still Celtic 1, Hearts 1 in the title decider. And Motherwell wrapping up fourth at the moment, because they're still 1-0 up at Hibernian, and a point is good enough. But obviously enough time for plenty of things to change, including this game, given Rangers' recent run of form. But if they need another goal, it just looks likely they might get it, as Hogarth clears downfield into the final half an hour. 61 minutes ticking over at Falkirk Stadium, and Falkirk need to get a goal relatively quickly to put some cats in pigeons. Good run down the left-hand side for Hart, nicely found as well. Broggio lays off, opportunity to get a cross in. It's deep to the far post, but straight to Butland. A bit too high and hanging, easy for the former England former England goalkeeper rather. And crosses into the box need to be a little bit better. They don't have much height, so I don't think high-hanging crosses is the way forward. Yeah,
they're looking towards that back stick. There's not many bodies getting inside the box. I think they're more afraid of whether, if they lose out possession of the ball, Rangers just will have that quick counter-attack, and it'll be so easy for them to get the ball inside the box.
Gassama wins a corner, rather greedily going for a shot at goal towards the right edge of the box, on the edge of it, rather than feed it into a run in the box. He's gone for goal. It is blocked. It's won a corner. Set piece chance. 62 minutes ticking over at Falkirk Stadium. As I say, Rangers looking very threatening pretty much every time they go forward. They've probably turned the possession stats a little bit more in their favour, but Falkirk still leading that stat, 58-42 overall. Rangers are actually shading it in the second half. Corner whipped in towards the near post, headed away though by Hart. Good defensive header under pressure. Diamandi tries to, he has done, fed it out to Chimiti from right to left. Another low cross in, it's behind runners and intercepted by Tate, who takes a little bit of a risk with the Cruyff turn, gets away with it, rode the challenge, and now a potential break on up to Broggio, goes down under pressure from Fernandez. He's caught free kick, which has already been taken out to the right hand side, but nobody there, and maybe it's taken too quickly. It's done Falkirk a favour, really. Free kick on the halfway line. Referee again has stopped play. Of course, we don't know. It might be a change actually rather than a VAR intervention. It does look as though one Rangers player is ready to come on, and it is going to be now. Actually, Barron is making his way across. Unless is it Barron going for instructions? Maybe no. It's a change. Can't see a board. It's independent, unofficial off-tube studio commentary. Everyone's given up on this game. There's nothing riding on it, Joe.
I think Falkirk are also making a change here, and I can't see who's coming off the field. I think it's Broggio who's coming off. He seems to be the man who was going on that sideline. I think I saw a 1 being raised by the body. It will be him who will go off of the field then, but I couldn't see the man who would be replacing him. But yeah, the board went so quickly up by the fourth official on that sideline, so we'll just wait to see.
Yeah, things to do. Last day of the season. Falkirk 2, Rangers 4, 64 minutes gone into the 65th, and the scoreline is a little bit flattering on Falkirk because they've scored 4 legitimate goals, Rangers, 2 or 3 other very good attempts, a couple of very good saves from Hogarth, and of course Butland's own goal and a penalty has kept at least Falkirk, let's call it, within range at the moment. Could have been so much more one-sided the scoreline on another day. But it is Falkirk 2, Rangers 4. Those changes have been made. We'll confirm them as and when. But, we think Barron and Braggio have gone off. Confirm who's come on in the meantime. But Falkirk again seeing a bit more of the ball. Chukwani has come on for Rangers incidentally. That has been confirmed. But they're not seeing that much of the ball at the moment. And again, I was just saying a couple of minutes ago, they're a bit more aggressive in possession. They might be now as Yates has picked it up, feeding it out to Miller. Steps inside Robbins. High hanging cross to the left edge of the box. It might be a bit too deep for Ross. Ross, well, he can't control it. He has to go and retrieve, which he has done. But having to go and fetch the ball, Rangers have got bodies back. It's worked back towards the halfway line. And Falkirk will have to start again. Yates up in support of Miller, right hand side, but then returns the pass to Nielsen. And Falkirk being patient at the moment. Gary Oliver's come on for Broggio, by the way. That's confirmed too. Falkirk made 4 of their 5 changes as Ross tries to get down the left hand side. He beat 1. He can't get the cross past Aarons, but he has won his side a corner kick though. And chance to test out Rangers' rear guard. Having said that, I don't think either side is particularly threatened from corners.
No, not really. Falkirk have obviously had that one. They've had a few others where they played them short and it didn't work out for them. So they went with one inside the box, and well, it ended up being a penalty in the end for them. So I wonder what will come of this one then. Plenty of players are surrounding Jack Butland.
Yeah, not so much freedom. Having said that, he's got a little bit of space in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Good header clear from Fernandez. Loose ball's picked up though. Shot comes in from 25 yards out, and that wasn't too far wide. Tate it was with his strike. Butland, it wasn't too far wide because Butland made the dive, didn't get there, was hit hard, but it is wide of the post and only a goal kick. I'm worried about goal kicks now after that first half penalty, but don't think there's a danger of that one being a handball. As it's eventually restarted out to the right hand side. Still Celtic 1, Hearts 1, Hibernian 0, Motherwell 1. No goals in the second half of those 2 games. We had a very early one, that was 20 minutes or so ago. And I guess the really good chances, they're not thick and fast. Obviously Falkirk had that Miller one-on-one chance, but other than that, they haven't created an awful lot.
No, they haven't. I think that was about the only chance that they've really had in front of goal when they've taken that shot, apart from that one then with Tate as well, just trying to test the goalkeeper a little bit. But that one with Miller is probably definitely the best chance that they've had of the game from open play. And for Rangers, well, the crosses inside the box and them just being in the final third is just looking so dangerous for Falkirk.
Yeah, and they're not really fatigued, I don't think, Rangers. I say that with all due respect. They're not putting a press on, they're not forcing anything from Falkirk, so they can save their energy from when they absolutely need it. Long ball over the top, probably the first time they've gone long, Falkirk, but Ross is probably second best in terms of winning that race, but out comes Butland to the edge of his area to claim anyway. Rangers doing a decent enough job defensively. They did of course lose Jiga in the first half to injury. Aaron's has slotted in as they've just seemingly slipped into a back four, as they be well used to that system anyway. But we have passed the 3/4 point. Dare I say it, there's a bit of a lull in the game at the moment. Might just fire up in the final quarter. Here's Joe.
Yeah, and it's Rangers with a throw in. Danny Roll has sent 3 of his players off the substitutes bench to go and warm up down by that corner flag and go get a vigorous warm up. It seems to be, as the ball is with Rangers on the left hand side, but it's easily won back by Falkirk, who just play it back towards their goalkeeper. Hogarth in net, then not being pressed at the moment. Finally, as though by Asgard, but too easy for Hogarth in the end, and just plays a simple ball onto the right hand side. But then he gets the ball back, and it wasn't the best of passes. Chimiti was in there sniffing around, but Falkirk managing to come away with it. Well, Rangers, including the curtailed 2019-20 campaign, Rangers have only lost their final league game in one of the last 17 seasons. They've had 9 wins, 7 draws, a 2-1 defeat at Kilmarnock in 2018-19 season was the last time then. Ball to the left-hand side for Rangers. Falkirk are putting them under a little bit of pressure now with Moore, who has to play it back towards Asgard, who just seems to be everywhere at the moment for Rangers. The ball is switched on to the right-hand side. It's looking like Falkirk might be making another change. We've got one player warming up down there then. Ball switched diagonally onto the left-hand side. It goes then. It's kept in by Moore, but only headed back to Falkirk then, who then try and set themselves down this right-hand side with McIver, but it's not worked out in the end for them. And Rangers comfortably pick back up possession in midfield. Chimiti turns his man nicely there, and we'll go on a little bit of run onto the left-hand side then. Romens just switches it back towards Asgard. Plays it into the path of Aarons. Jukwani now has possession of the ball on the right-hand side. Plays it to Diamande. Diamande is looking for a few options. Finds Gassama. Jukwani gets the ball back. So does Fernandez now. Not much pressure coming from Falkirk. Rangers still have a lot of energy. So not a bad ball too from Fernandez, and well, Rangers have got themselves a free kick. Well, he put the ball down the ground before the referee even blew his whistle for that free kick, but we'll now wait for Falkirk to make their change then. See who is coming onto the field, see who's going off. A few players take this time to get a bit of fluids on board, a bit of the gel as well. And couldn't see who was coming off there. I think it might have been Hart who has walked off the field. It's Hart who has come off them. And we will see who will replace him. Wilson, it looks like, will be the replacement of Hart then. And that left-hand side, now slot in there. He's just in midfield at the moment is Wilson, while Rangers get set to take this free kick. They wait for the referee to say they're all clear, and he has done now. Chimiti just heads it on to Gassama then inside of the Falkirk box. Ball is whipped in. It's defended by Falkirk. Rolls out of play for a throw in, which Aarons He's quick to grab the ball and play it inside of the box. Gassama, lovely little chip there, and he's won himself a free kick as he tried to turn away from Miller. Just on the right hand side edge of the area, he will get the free kick. Well, Motherwell, who are a goal up in that game against Hibernian, have got themselves down to 10 men.
Yeah, they had a second goal chalked off for a foul as well, so they could have been 2-0 up, but now they're 1-0 up with a man down. Watts got his second yellow, and that was in the 67th minute. Of course, Hibs need to win, but now they're playing against 10 men, so still enough time to turn that one around. The other game is still on a knife edge. Celtic 1, Hearts 1 at Celtic Park.
And we'll get set for this free kick to be taken. It's whipped in towards the far post. Nobody there though. It will be comfortably dealt with by Henderson. Just rolls into the path of Oliver, who will get his first touches, and then they'll try and set Wilson off down his right hand side. Good defending by Aarons, who came across, read that ball nicely, and the throw in quickly taken into the path of Tate. Then he's still got support of Wilson. Uses him as a little bit of a decoy on that right hand side. Just switches it into McIver. McIver on to Aarons then. Ball is being worked out from right to left now. Henderson thinks about going to the left-hand side, but switches it back across to the right now. With Tate onto Aarons. There's not much pressure really coming from Rangers. They're just letting Falkirk pass the ball around for the time being. Closing down the spaces. Ball is flick through towards Wilson. He'll get it inside the box. It's McIver's there as he's arriving. He couldn't get the touch onto the ball, and it rolls out towards the corner flag for a throw in to Rangers there. But another good chance for Falkirk to get a goal.
Yeah, just didn't get the slide far enough. I mean, they worked the space well. Allen and Tate combining, and then the run comes in from Wilson. Maybe they just haven't picked up the markers soon, because obviously he's a recent substitute. It's a great looking ball in. Unfortunately, we didn't see how close any of McIver or Oliver were to making that ball, but they were ahead of the defence, and you'd think it's a meaningful touch, and they're scoring because there's very little that they could have done about it. It's a mistake from Suter has coughed up another opportunity, bailed out by Romans. Maybe Suter was fouled, doesn't look like it actually, so Romans needed to take charge. I don't know why Suter played that ball, because he's sort of facing his own goal, and Fernandez was about to smash it downfield, but he took a touch and it was nearly costly.
It was indeed, and Falkirk have taken the throw in quickly then. Ball to the right hand side. It's nice movement of the ball for Falkirk. Now with Tate. Plays it down to Wilson, who realised he was in an offside position, so just let the ball run for Yates. At the moment they can't quite get a ball inside the box, and then they've lost it out. Tate has lost it to Moore. Chimiti now has possession of it. Chukwani will get it downfield. He was looking for the run of Gassama. And ball rolls back for Falkirk. Then it was nice play from Falkirk there. It's better passing from them, but they can't get a ball inside the final third.
No, I mean, Wilson there, I didn't think he was offside actually, but the pass was played out to Yates behind him, and that just allowed Rangers to get bodies behind the ball. I think if they move it quicker, that's a better looking ball from Wilson. It needs runners, and it was Allen coming up from deep. He's trying to feed it in behind Fernandez. Suter comes across to clear, but runners from deep make a really big difference, and if they time the run better. I mean, Wilson's up for me. He's already had an impact, not just because he put a cross in, but he's keeping them width and he's taking on defenders. And then Allen and Tate are actually providing those deeper runs, which they weren't doing in the first half, and everything was ahead of Rangers. Not so much now. Having said that, Rangers are countering.
Yeah, they are indeed, with Gassama, who has raced away from a few of the Falkirk challengers then onto this right-hand side. Plays the ball into Chimiti, who is pushed inside of the box by Nielsen, and it will be a penalty then. It has been awarded by the referee for the challenge on Chimiti. Gassama's gone down with a little bit of an injury inside the box. I do wonder if it's a little bit of cramp from the running that he's just done, but what a silly foul from Nielsen. He just pushes Chimiti in the back when he's going for the ball, and it's always going to be a penalty.
Yeah, I'm not convinced, you know, Joe. Yeah, he's touched him, I'll give you that, but it didn't look a blatant push, it didn't look obvious. We haven't got a replay, neither was the referee. He's a lot closer to the action, of course. It almost looked like an afterthought to me, going down Chimiti, and I mean, he's got the decision. It's not costly to either side, because Falkirk are going to finish 6th anyway. I thought it was soft.
But anyway, it will be a penalty for Rangers then. 2 balls are onto the field. Hogarth has got one in his hand, and Rangers man has got one in his then. I think it'll be Asgard who will take it. He has the ball in his hand, but Hogarth has put the ball down that he had, and Asgard has just kicked it out of play. So Asgard will take the penalty then. We've had now 2 penalties in this game, one for either team, one for Falkirk, one for Rangers. Falkirk scored from theirs. Can Rangers convert from the penalty spot then? As Asgard steps up to take it. He will take his time then. Takes a few steps away from the ball, waits for the referee's whistle. Steps up, takes it, goes the right way, does the keeper, but it's into the roof of the net. Smashed in there, the same position that it was in for Falkirk. Don't know if Hogarth got a touch onto it. It didn't seem like he did, but a well-taken penalty there by Rangers. Rangers 5, Falkirk 2.
Yeah, I mean, the scoreline doesn't flatter Rangers. Regardless of my opinion of the penalty, it doesn't flatter them at all. It's a lovely penalty as well. They're not keepers aren't tending to stop those ever. A little bit like the Falkirk penalty, as you mentioned. Difficult to stop when you pick a spot and hit it at pace. I don't think Asgard's had a particularly strong influence on this game, but he's got a score. He's got a goal now. And of course it's probably just ended Falkirk's ambitions of turning it around. I don't know. Looks as though Rangers are going to make a change on the back of that penalty, or the 5th goal. It might actually be the penalty taker, Asgard, who's going off. Not 100%. It's independent unofficial off-tube studio commentary. Not necessarily easy for us to see. But yeah, it doesn't flatter them at all, Rangers. I think they're playing in second gear, but I think they've kept Falkirk ahead of them at arm's length. A penalty and an own goal obviously has given Falkirk 2 goals, but Rangers have scored 5, and they might have had 2 or 3 more. So the scoreline isn't flattering, it's just a bit deflating for them, because as I say, coming into the split, they might have been favourites, so they're only a point behind Hearts, so it's going to be deflating regardless of the scoreline.
Yeah, indeed. Well, Asgard and Moore have gone off the field. They will be replaced by McCallan and Lawson, it looks like, who will come onto the field then. And there was another change as well for Rangers. Couldn't see who went off the field. I think it might have been Remens, but just get confirmation of that in a bit then. Yeah, Asgard, the penalty taker, just taking it, has gone off the field, and maybe that's why he wanted to take that penalty. Yeah, because maybe he knew that he was going off. But anyway, Falkirk have got themselves a corner on this right-hand side then, and they will wait to take it then. Ball is whipped inside the box. It's a comfortable catch for Butland though. There was heads all around him, but he's done well to maintain the possession of that ball then. And switched out onto the left-hand side for Gassama. Gassama tries to play the ball through, hasn't worked out, and it was Remens actually who has gone off the field, and Scally has come in replace of him then. So 3 changes used for Rangers there. And Scally, the number 82, is one of them. Remens, Moore and Asgard going off the field then. Lawson, McCallion and Scally coming on in replace of them then. I think this is Rangers just trying to settle the game down now.
Yeah, I mean, I think they played in second gear, so I wouldn't say that they're particularly shone as a unit or individually. Obviously, I think Gassama's had his moments. Chimiti scored a hat-trick. But yeah, Romans, I think there was one cross that he put in for Chimiti, that towering header goal that started the second half, of course. But you wouldn't say it's been a constant outlet. They haven't needed to be. I mean, that's the concern for Falkirk, of course. I'd just given some minutes to a few youngsters, I think now. That's the name of the game for Rangers, last day of this season. It could have been a better one than what it's turned out to be. Despite the start, let's not forget the start was terrible. Danny Roll seemingly turned it around, but the split, I mean, it's just gone downhill. Title race over for them within couple of games of the split. Rangers doing the attacking again.
Yeah, they are indeed then. Ball forward in towards Chimithy. Yet again, he's trying to take it onto that right foot. And yet again, he's blocked out. And, well, Falkirk will head downfield with Wilson. Then he tries to put a ball inside the box. There's nobody up with him. McIver was one of them, but he was arriving too late. And the ball just rolls straight out of field for a throw-in on that right-hand side then for Rangers. But never got his head up there, did Wilson. Just seemed to try and put the ball in and hope that there was somebody there for him.
Yeah, I mean, they're lacking the numbers, might be lacking the energy. I mean, I do like the fact obviously he's playing against he's a substitute, so he's fresh, but he's making those runs, he's into space, and he's not afraid to put a cross in. A better cross would be appreciated, I'm sure, because, as we mentioned, they're not particularly... Certainly now Parkinson's gone off, you don't think the aerial threat is necessarily there, so the cross has got to be a bit better. But he's taken on his man, he's up against Scally now. I like his energy, if his end product isn't quite there.
Yeah, ball is headed away by Falkirk, picked up in midfield by Rangers, but then given back to Falkirk in defence. Then ball is switched on to this right-hand side for Nielsen. Nielsen's under a little bit of pressure, does well to get a touch onto that ball. It's Scally who has turned away from Wilson nicely and made sure that he didn't get possession of it. And now Rangers will just pass it round the back with about 10 minutes left to go then within this game. Falkirk 2, Rangers 5. Of course, that's plus additional time as well. Ball is moved on to the left-hand side for Scally. Scally will play it down the left for Gassama, who will continue his run forward. Tries to cut inside into that right foot. Gets a little bit of luck that it bounces back towards him. He's now inside the box. Tate is fouling him at the moment, putting him under a little bit of pressure. Scally delivers one inside. Chimitty tries to get a touch onto it. He can't. It's away by Falkirk. Down the right-hand side it goes for Wilson, who will try and use his pace, but he's blocked out in the end by Fernandez. Good defending and good covering as well. On that left-hand side, ball is made its way onto the right with Aarons. Loose ball is picked up by Falkirk inside their own half. There's a foul in there, though, in the end, and Chikwani is the man who has been prosecuted for it, and a long ball downfield towards Wilson, easily headed by Fernandez back towards Butland, and that's such a waste of a free kick there.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, it doesn't really matter, do they? They're trying the ambitious stuff, 2-5 down, 5 minutes to go, if it comes off, you look good. They're not going to win this game, simple as. They've done all right. We've talked about the two final thirds, though. They've been way second best. It's not even close. There's no misfortune about this. If there was a misfortune, it's arguably that they're within 3 goals of Rangers. That sounds harsh, but it's just the quality of chances. They've won a free kick, though, right on the edge of the box, left edge. This is probably a fair way out, given the angle, to really whip it in towards goal. But obviously, it's relatively wide, so they might cross. They just haven't threatened from crosses. That's the problem. Thinking somebody might go for goal, even if it is this wide.
Indeed, then. 2 players are standing over it for Falkirk. Might be a left-footed in-swinger if they are to take the cross. It won't. It'll just be a right-footed. It will be put inside of the box. It's easily headed away though by Gassama. Still out towards Falkirk though, onto Tate. Tate looking down towards that right-hand side. He was waiting for the run of Allen. Does finally make it. Ball is onto the right-hand side. Switched back towards Tate then, who tries to drive inside of the box. He's turned away from his man nicely. Tries to dink it towards the far post. So overhit in the end. Too much curl on it as well. It goes straight past, really wide the post. Ends up by the corner flag. And Rangers have got themselves a goal kick. But they have had good passing play, Falkirk. But it's just the attacking final third, the cross inside the box, that's really let them down today.
Yeah, he did all the hard work there, and I wouldn't say it was brilliant defending because it was almost half-hearted. And then he's got time and space and overhits the cross, having done that hard work. So that has been a disappointment. Obviously, didn't have a lot of bodies in the box. Rangers are on the attack down the left-hand side. Cross comes in, doesn't quite beat the man, but it has won a corner. He was under pressure there with Scally, so he did well to win a set piece. I don't think Rangers have had that many set pieces, so it's difficult to work out how dangerous they are from there. these sort of situations. Falkirk haven't been, but a chance for, I don't know, Fernandez, Suter to go and get a goal last game of the season.
Yeah, indeed. Well, Scally will be the taker of the corner kick then on that left-hand side. It's drilled towards the far post. It's comfortable in the end though for Hogarth. It was over everybody's head. A comfortable catch for him. And now he will just wait to roll this ball out. He does roll it into the path of Henderson. Plays it on to the right-hand side for Yates then. And Yates has seen the run of Wilson in it again. But it's too overhit. And Wilson looks disheartened at that cross because it was so easy for Butland just to come out of his net and collect it in the end. Ball is moved onto the left-hand side by Rangers with Scally. Diamande will now have possession of it. Ball onto the right-hand side then. Suter sees the run of Chukwuani on that far right-hand side. He's got Gassama up in support of him, does use him. Gassama onto that left foot, has nowhere really to turn. A nice little bit of passing from Rangers on this right-hand side. Not much pressure coming from Falkirk. They're now trying to finally close them down. But they've given them a little bit too much time, and well, they have managed to in the end force them to go back towards their goalkeeper in Butland, who just plays it out towards Fernandez. And still Rangers look relaxed when they have possession of the ball. Gassama slipped though onto this right-hand side. Ball played down. McIver, can he get the beating of the defender? He just kind of turns away from him, back towards his own net then, and then has to play it into the path of Wilson, who's just stood on the halfway line. Now inside towards Tate. Tate onto the left for Nilsson. Nilsson just plays it back towards Tate, and Rangers just won't put the pressure on at the moment. Falkirk do try and put a ball inside the box. Too easy for Fernandez to header it away. Chukwuani has picked it up in midfield, and he'll go racing with possession of the ball right through the middle of the park. Nilsson has had to come across him. It's good defending by Nilsson. Just tries to get it downfield, but only to the path of Gassama. Gassama in plenty of space, cuts inside onto that right foot, and then just puts it down to about walking pace with possession of the ball onto the left-hand side then for Scally. And Rangers have always looked relaxed throughout this game, but they're now getting balls inside the Rangers, inside the Falkirk half, but they're just turning back with the ball every single time.
Yeah, I mean, there's a brilliant run there from Chukwuani. I mean, he's run, 60, 70 yards. I mean, it wasn't a great touch to try and beat Nielsen at the last. It was quite heavy, and the support was slow in arriving. But here they go again. Shot comes in, and that's just wide. I think this time Hogarth was aware that it was going wide at the upright. For a moment, there's two balls on the pitch. We're into a stoppage time. 1 minute to be played, so matter of seconds left. On the night, Rangers too good, but of course it's six against third, and that's how it's going to be. Little to glean really about Rangers, or indeed Falkirk, last day of this season.
Yeah, indeed. Well, we'll wait for the goal kick to be taken. A few of the Falkirk fans already starting to leave the stadium, and we will get set for the goal kick then. Hogarth just not even looking like he wants to take it at this point. Waits, launches it long downfield, and the referee has blown his full-time whistle then. Rangers have got the European spots. Falkirk remain at the bottom then, and in this game plenty of chances come for Rangers. They seemed a little bit too relaxed, and at the end of the game it is Falkirk 2, Rangers 5.
Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match. Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match?